Hello, 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 and welcome to Q&A Thursday, where you have our hosts, Dane Hannon, Levi Gates,
What's up, Dane?
Anthony Fisher, and a guest, Sydney. Welcome to the program. Everybody loves Sydney. All right, glad to have you here. And, well, guys, any housekeeping before I take us along
Anthony.
on this Q&A journey?
Thanks for asking, guys. So, as always, I like sweeping, cleaning up the place, doing a little bit of dusting, right, before we just start every podcast.
Yeah.
So, some housekeeping this week, right? So, today, we actually just got done filming a new Wash Wednesday for everybody,
Yes.
Which we hope you like, because apparently, I mean, based on just the view count alone, you couldn't really tell you liked our last Wash Wednesday.
Right?
It makes me sad.
You know,
One of the
I think it was one of our funniest
Wash
ones we've ever
Wednesdays
had.
ever made.
You guys are sleeping
Nobody
on it.
watched it.
And
And that
it's-
was my favorite thing. I love when we
best.
make one and people are like, that's the best Wash Wednesday we've ever made. And then I go, 700 likes
Yeah,
on
when
this. And
somebody
it's going to
says
have
that, that's when you
700
worry.
views because it's the best one. The
Yeah.
worst ones get like 20, 30,000, right?
The ones where you're like, I didn't feel it this time. It's all right. You win some, you lose some. Those ones blow up.
how we
But
know the good
when you're
ones.
like really passionate, and
like
then
Tony's
just
Kitchen.
crickets. So,
You know, great episodes.
Glenn
Yeah.
died making that video. Put everything in heart and soul and everything into that. Blood, sweat, and
if you
tears.
feel like we're guilting you into watching it right now, we are.
Yeah.
yeah, it's funny. Please
It's
go watch it.
so good.
So it keeps us motivated to keep making future Wash
I don't care if you
Wednesdays.
don't like motorcycles. It's still fun without the fact. I
Yeah,
mean,
it
it's
is.
so good.
It's a good one.
So
yeah.
anyway, got that point. But what else?
So, but today's episode, we shot with a pretty unique car. Can I say what it is?
Yeah,
or
go
should I
for
keep
it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Half the
okay.
people won't even know what it is. I know
Okay,
what it is.
Dane,
yeah.
what is it?
It was a Subaru XT. Was it an 86 or an 87?
86.
Yeah, so this is not a Forester XT or anything like that. No, this is the original model.
The XT.
So when you say Subaru XT, people get confused. But when you say the 80s XT, they know it's the doorstop shaped one. So that's a
Very
very
much a doorstop.
fun, very quirky little car. And did you not love the Digidash?
Oh, I loved
How cool
everything
is
on the
that?
interior.
So
that was
80s.
awesome. Like, that was literally like grabbing that stick shift.
And the button.
Something
bam.
about
It's a
that.
pistol grip. It's really
Pistol grip, four-wheel drive button on
Very
the thumb.
satisfying.
Pop it in.
yeah,
Push
See,
button, four-wheel
pretty
drive.
rad.
The AC controls down there. Right
yeah,
next to your
in the center
hand.
console.
Pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I really enjoyed that.
And it's
So-
a turbo four banger, so you like that.
Yeah, heck yeah. So we did a Wash Wednesday on that today. He was actually a younger kid named Carson, 16. His dad just bought that. They went on a road trip to go
This
pick
is
that
his
up.
birthday week.
And
Yeah.
it's his birthday week, and so he wanted to, kick it off here. Visit the rag company.
Yeah, he's
and-
been on our live Q&A. He's been one of the people in the audience listening, commenting. So
But where are they from again? They're from
Chicago.
Illinois. So
Yeah,
yeah,
on the-
that's kind of a ways. Excellent. Now I have this here.
Oh,
You guys
there
keep
it is.
carrying on. I'm just gonna adjust this.
But yeah, super cool. So we're excited for that. And then Sydney actually did a test spot on it, just try to see if we can bring.
yeah, we did a little bit
of
of polishing on it, some other stuff just to see, and then Sydney
it was
also
a good
checked
candidate.
with the paint thickness gauge. So all that came out, so we could see at least what was on it. And they were really excited at least to see that too.
Yeah.
No,
I-
really nice folks. So
Dane,
shout
I
out to
see
them.
you're still connected to the TVs
Yeah.
over here. This
I'm
is
kicking
fun.
it over. Hold on.
Yeah.
Keep
Why-
talking.
We don't need to look at that kind of
So
stuff.
other things for housekeeping this week, right?
Yeah.
So we have some good news. We're not going to go too much in depth on this because next week I think next week's going to be the entire week of talking about this.
Yeah.
So we're going to save it for then, right? But
what's
something
that?
is shipping soon in terms of a product.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's a product that people keep asking about.
Yeah. It keeps
So-
getting blurred
We kept
out. It keeps
pretending
getting blurred
we had
out in
no
the
idea.
comments.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Like it's like
strange.
some type of censorship thing
Yeah.
that YouTube's
Auto-
doing.
Well, like
filter.
Dan
Yeah.
Pfeiffer says, hello, 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 and word up from rainy Minnesota, USA. Happy Friday, TRC crew. Can we talk about? And then it disappears.
Wow.
Like his words, they're
it's
gone.
so strange.
So-
I don't know what the heck's going on.
Odd,
So,
odd.
but I think next week, right? We have a ship date. We can actually start getting excited about it. Just I don't want it to be like the Christmas situation, right?
Yeah.
Where
No, you get all-
you ask for something, you build up all this interest, and you're like, I'm so excited.
That's how I was
and
with
then
Optimus
you open
Prime.
it up, right? And then instead of getting Legos, you get
Mega
Mega
Blocks.
Yeah. Well, like mine,
You're
I
like, what
I
the
famously
heck?
have said the one thing I always asked for as a little kid,
Yeah.
my whole Christmas, every Christmas for like 7 or 8 years, I just wanted an Optimus Prime Transformer.
I got one.
I never got one.
You never got one?
Never got one.
Which Optimus Prime version were you wanting? Like the truck version?
The truck, the very first one.
Okay,
the
very
main,
first truck,
the
yeah.
main one. Then we're talking. This is 1985, man.
Yeah.
Well,
84,
yeah, I
85,
know,
the
but
real
there
one.
was quite a few variations after
True,
that.
but that was
you know, Beast Wars. There's all sorts of stuff.
I'm talking about pure canon, the original series.
Hey, Beast Wars is canon.
So
Awesome.
anyway, I got down to that. I never got one, ever. That was the one thing I always wanted. I always asked for it, never got it. So we don't want it to be like that. We want to be able to deliver it to you guys. Get
Fair.
you your own Optimus Prime.
Best
Yeah. So to speak.
best Christmas gift I ever got. Right, didn't even ask for it. Right, was a Red Ryder.
Oh,
Had
BB gun.
Yeah, BB gun. Had no idea I was getting it.
Oh.
It was one of those like my dad's friend shows up with this box and he's like, "Hey, is it okay if my dad's like, yeah, sure, that's fine."
Yeah.
Open that thing up. Yeah, dude, I started shooting everything. Right, literally it was like, bam, bam, bam.
How
It
long
was
before you
crazy.
took your eye out?
Didn't happen. This is not
okay.
the Christmas story,
Glasses.
Dane. Yeah. So
checking.
other housekeeping things here is that we are going to kind of try to get back into a little bit more of a schedule. We know that the FAQ channel hasn't had any content for a while because what we're trying to really do right now is we're trying to kind of revisit our video structure and kind of spend more time on the drawing board than we are in actual producing
Yeah.
stuff, because we want to keep producing, but we want to put more thought into our videos. And it's just kind of something where we finally have a big enough team now that we can kind of divvy out things, and we want to try to focus on making really good content,
And
better
maximize
content,
our talents.
and maximize our talents, exactly. So one thing to look forward to, though, I believe it's this weekend,
Your
right?
garage
This
tour.
Saturday, I think it's my garage tour,
Yeah.
right? It's the longest garage tour we have.
Why?
They had to cut it down significantly.
But the MOSHQ is so much bigger than your garage. So why did it take so much longer?
I'm not sure. I think it was a combination of the people stuck up in my crawl space.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we
Yeah.
had to muffle. All
And-
Oh, that's right. You
um,
did have to tell him to be quiet.
yeah,
Yeah,
And
yeah. Sorry, Alex.
I
There
think
was
I
a ne-
remember one scene where you, for some reason, had a broom handle and you were just banging the ceiling saying,
Knock it off.
knock it off.
Knock it off.
Trying to film down here.
But that, and then there was a cat.
Yeah.
The
the
cat
the
showed
neighborhood
up.
cat came around, and so
Cat's in the video.
But it is a long one,
Okay.
and so Seabass basically cut it down by I think 15.
He said it was
30
like
minutes.
a 4-hour video.
It was way too long.
Way
So,
too long. That's why I
um,
was like, were you guys doing anything? And he said, no, it's all just touring. Anthony
Yeah, it's like
showing
Anthony talks,
his palatial
extensively
garage.
about a subject. You ask him about something, he'll give you a lot.
I know. I'm sorry. So
That's okay.
Something to look forward to, though. All right. And so yeah. Anyway, anything else to report? Sid, as you being a representative of PNS, is there anything that you would like to publicly put out there as anything exciting
I don't know what they would
and
be
new?
wondering about.
I mean, I'm not really sure what I'm allowed to say, but I think
You know what you're not allowed to say, so
Right.
just
Yeah,
don't
okay.
say that.
You know what?
Say anything but that.
Right.
How's
Yeah.
the launch of Undressed going?
Good. We just need it to get out there.
Okay.
For some reason, we just haven't had a ton of distributors getting it in stock yet. But I mean, the buzz on social media, though, everybody wants it. It's awesome. I brought it here with me so that we get to play with it. But it's an awesome product. It is up on the PNS site now. I know a lot of people have been asking about that. So Undressed is the new tire prep for when you need to remove all the old tire dressings. Super awesome product. And then kind of one of our main focuses right now is just doing some label revamps. So
Yeah.
we've had a couple of those roll out recently. We're going to film a video tomorrow with one. And so that's been kind of fun just to see some label updates and things like that. And otherwise, we're just cranking over at PNS. You guys got to tour it. The factory
Yeah.
is super
Yeah.
fun. So yeah, everybody's doing great. We're just,
Heck yeah.
crazy busy like
Yeah,
everybody.
and so we have a couple products that we've been wanting to play with. So we have
Yeah.
one bottle. It is a waterless wash.
Yeah,
right?
we
Yeah.
used it a lot when we were in Monterey.
Yeah.
So we want to kind of have a little more focused time here at the Rag Company, play with it a little bit, because
Yeah.
we actually right now at this point in time, I think we don't actually have a dedicated
Yeah.
waterless
Right.
in our line. We
Yeah,
have
I don't know.
rinseless, but we don't have a dedicated waterless.
I don't think
Yeah.
we do. I don't think we carry OptiClean anymore.
Well,
anymore.
OptiClean, we're out of stock on, or something's going on. I'm not really sure, but
Yeah.
I don't know, because I was actually going through our stuff yesterday and walking through all the chemicals, and what was interesting is that we actually still have a lot of Optimum stuff. And what's one fun fact? I didn't know that Optimum actually changed the color of some of their bottles to a clear bottle.
Oh,
Did you know that?
yeah, for like Power Clean and Car Wax, and
Yeah.
they got rid of the blue bottles.
Clear bottle, which was interesting. And then I kind of walked around further, and we're still getting more larger size products of other chemicals and stuff that we carry, and then kind of going from there. But anyway, yeah, just wanted to say that things are still moving along. Yeah. So let's go ahead, Dane, and jump into some questions.
All right, I moved to the first question here.
Hello, TRC team. What's up, Umberto?
Okay.
Adam Hancock, happy Friday, you guys. What's been your experience with the CR Spotless systems? Been looking at purchasing one, but haven't pulled the trigger yet. Anthony.
I don't have anything bad to say about that system. I have nothing but good things to say.
What I love is it's worked. It was easy to install. It worked right out of the box. Technically, they'll see this weekend you have one in your garage as well on the cart, and it's very simple, very easy and effective. Fun fact, though, when you called the company to order resin, you let them know how great it worked, even when it was pumping out 100 parts per million. Yeah. And you're like, it's still working great. Mind you, we have 400 parts per million for our regular water.
It's like 250 or 300.
Yeah. And they're like, that's not, you're supposed to change it. You shouldn't be running 100. And you're 100. Like, it's still working.
They're like,
awesome.
It's not our fault that it's 100 parts per million. I'm like, I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm saying it's impressive that after thousands of gallons through this system, it is still filtering half of the mineral content
to 2/3
out of the water. Yeah. I mean, it's insane to me. And so, anyways, I have nothing but good things to say. I think it's probably one of the best $400 investments that you can make in detailing. And I would say stress levels for myself.
Products are going to work better.
Products are going to work better, especially if you're filling from the DI water or it's deionized water. If you're filling from that, it's awesome. If you're not filling it, just using it for rinsing. If you're using it for both rinsing and its intended purpose of being spot-free water. It's funny because the guys are at CR, they made this system so it is a rinse and walk away. And I say, guys, we're details. We don't do that.
We don't. You guys know that we're a towel company.
We don't do that. We don't walk away. Everything's always going to be dried. So
we got to put drying aids.
It's so strange. So you get a lot of it as a detailer out of that. And I would say that if you can go out and spend $400 and pick up a system, it's worth it tenfold. And then maybe every year, 2 years, you replace the $100 resin. I would, I'd go buy it.
It's easy to replace, simple to replace.
I feel like I've already gotten like $150 worth of enjoyment out of it, and I've only had it for a month.
There you go. Nice.
Got David
saying, "What's up, guys?" And Joe Wetzel. This episode better be good.
Wow, entitled much?
You'll
get what you
saying
get.
Hello to Umberto.
Joe coming in here
then
making
Dan
demands.
Smith dropping $20 super chat. Going towards our food. We appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Speaking of that, really, I know I don't want to get too off topic here. We do owe the people.
We do owe them.
Mm-hmm. They hit 100 likes on that video, and they worked hard too, man.
They did.
They shared it.
Took
they worked
months to get 100 likes. Weird how that happened. I think I have
on our smallest channel. That is kind of difficult.
I have like 300 or 400 likes on my garage tour video. So strange that I got so many likes on that, and it took so long to get your Tony's Kitchen likes.
It's almost like the channel your garage tour is on has 57,000 more subscribers than
that's not it.
Podcast
Dane,
channel.
that's not it.
So maybe that had something to do with it.
So Dane, so the next episode,
popularity.
I would like to do another chain again, but we promised them Dane tries Tony's Kitchen, and we're doing
the wings,
hot wings,
the Tony's special sauce wings. Hot special wings.
I'm good with whatever. I trust Anthony's cooking skills
wings.
decently. So I think he's capable of producing something good. But I won't know until I try it.
Okay.
So
it's going to be delicious.
I will be very genuine in my response, though. So if it's not good, I'm letting him know.
Blaine Endo going, can you guys use those pearl pucks instead of those cotton applicators from G-Technic for the coatings? G1, C4, C5? Yes. Sure. You can.
Nobody's stopping
Totally.
You definitely could.
It's got the liner in it. Mm-hmm. They're great for it.
Hans
saying, hey, TRC Towel Crew. What's up, Hans? How are you, man? Hans. Good to see you. Poets Flamel, couple Netherlands, couple Dutch boys here.
Yeah.
Saying happy Friday Eve.
Same to you.
Poets and Hans. Ron Iotti, good afternoon, TRC. It's 95 degrees here. Humid. Yeah, it sounds fun.
Fun detailing weather.
Don't like that. Optical clarity detail and hey TRC crew, what's your thoughts on ceramic coated plastic trim? I've come across a few vehicles where the trim is coated and doesn't look good. How do you remove it from the trim without damage? Thanks.
Sydney, you want to tackle it?
So, I've seen ceramic coated plastic trim. I personally ceramic coat plastic trim. I think it all is going to come down to the coating and if it is technically meant to work on plastic. So I personally use Inspiration on plastic trim. It works great. But one thing that I did learn from Chris West, which I think is important, is that if you ceramic coat the trim, you are sealing all of the pores. So if it is faded in any way and you want to go back and use a product like Solution Finish to re-dye the plastic, you're not going to be able to.
Right.
So that's kind of the one drawback. So I generally like to ceramic coat the trim when a car is new.
Yeah.
If it's been faded and anything like that, I usually try to do Solution Finish, and then I will go back over the top with ceramic coating, usually 24 to 48 hours after. And so I think that's where I see the failure point is when people use a coating that's not meant for plastic. If it's too high of a solid count, it can appear white and cloudy, ashy. It can almost make it look like it's sun damaged. So I think that's the main thing is just make sure that the coating you're using is specifically meant for a trim. So in the PNS line, Inspiration is fantastic for trim. Soul works great too. It's just not going to have a ton of longevity. And then Legend you can use, but you actually have to wipe it off. And you have to be pretty diligent about that because it is such a high solid content, you'll get kind of that white marks. So, but then I know a lot of the other companies have specific plastic and trim coating. So that's kind of my feeling on that is just make sure that it's in good condition and that you're using a coating that's meant for plastic.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
The other thing you can do, over the top. If you don't want to coat it, use Solution Finishes over the top sealant.
Yes.
And put it on. But yeah, same thing like Sydney said. Do what she said. All right, Luca Bellotti. Luca Bellata. Happy Friday Eve, guys. Then wants to know if we can talk about something. Again, no idea.
Auto sensor
Dan
again.
Smith. My VX 5000 steamer is falling apart after 10 years of abuse. What's that McCullough steamer part model number you guys use? Anthony.
It's called the McCulloch 1275.
Yep.
Nice.
Right? Is that what
Yeah.
it is?
And,
1275,
there's a link that there's a, maybe they want to help out a friend of ours. You know, that, what's his name? His name's like something Anthony.
Most of the day, Anthony.
Most of the day, Anthony. If you go to his channel, there's one where he's like cleaning his a Civic, very almost like yours.
Oh yeah, he's getting those shots.
It was cool because Anthony was like, I watched that guy's video and then I detailed mine.
Yeah, because I placed the order through his affiliate link, and it gives him a small kickback.
Yeah, it says there's a link
things.
though, so you could hit that. It's a good way to help him out. You know, hit that link. So
Don't
yeah,
have
go
to
to
do
the
that, but
go to
it's,
the link there and find it. I think we actually put it on one of our Steam video. We put that same link. We used our friend Anthony's
so
link.
nice.
Wow.
That guy. We used that link on the Subaru.
Putting food on his table. Is
Yeah,
what
just
you're
helping
doing.
him out.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
We got Rennie
Well,
Doyle
speaking of friends,
in the house
yeah.
saying hi, Sydney.
Hi, Rennie. Thanks for tuning
Hey,
in.
hey.
Rennie's in
What's up,
Big
dude?
Bear today. He is doing a 5-day training this week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
5-day training.
5 days.
Yeah, his
Wow.
Yep.
The big
so
boy.
that's nice for you to tune
Which
in,
day
Rennie.
does he require the push-ups?
That's like day one.
Oh,
honestly.
man.
Yeah, day
Yeah.
one. If you can't make it through day one,
He has to break you down
You're
to build
done.
you
Yeah,
up,
that's
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Yep.
Something like
Yep.
that.
What the heck? Half round table does look better, or is it just because there's a lady present? Oh, thanks, Hans. I shaved
Hans.
today.
I don't think he's talking about
I
you.
think he's talking about.
I definitely didn't.
And then first, Humberto saying the lady from PNS Sydney, what's up? Damon, good afternoon from the inland northwest. What's up, Damon? How are you?
Hey, we're the inland northwest.
Yeah. And then Blaine asking again the same question. Yes, Blaine, you can.
Yes.
Use the pearl puck. Yes. Alex yelling, Sydney Gwynn.
Oh,
Now we
thanks
got
for
people
yelling.
yellers. All right. We got yellers for products, people, phrases, you name it.
That's so
Vigor
nice.
says, "Oh, Sydney's here. The male view count is about to go up compared to other Q&A Thursdays."
Yeah.
Very nice of you.
Oh, Joe, you just cut right through to the heart of
I love
everything.
Joe.
don't you?
doesn't really
Poets
waste
Will
your
Mel
time.
says, "Is the product that gave birth to the purple FTW? It's the pink FTW."
Oh, wow. Way to just put that out there.
I love the
Yeah.
pink FTW.
Yeah.
I love the pink
Love
FTW
it.
as well. It's a beautiful towel.
Pretty great.
Hans, hope TRC EU will have those dang pucks soon. I want to play with them. Dude, it's just it's shipping all around the world. I
Yeah.
ordered some tint supplies
Oh.
for the MOSHQ so I could start
No, you did not.
practicing
Did
some
you
tint.
actually?
I got some
Ooh.
tint tools.
Did you go? Did
I
have
ordered
you
them on
taken
the
your
14th of
online tint school yet?
No, but I did get them from Tint Supplies Warehouse. So I
Yeah.
bought a toolkit. So
What
I
are you
can-
gonna even tint first? Like, what are you
The
gonna?
Suburban.
The Suburban.
It needs to have all the tint replaced.
So,
Old
tint
you
my
have
golf
any
cart.
experience in
Yeah.
tinting?
No, none whatsoever.
Once he figures out the
I-
Suburban, he's just going to start offering
I've
it to
tinted the
other people.
windows on my house.
Oh.
I did my back windows on my house.
Yeah.
House is a little easier to get inside than the back of like a small coupe or something.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I've been waiting for my tint supplies. They sent me a letter, an email 2 days later saying, "Hey, sorry, we're having trouble getting stuff. It'll be 3 days before we ship it out." It's been like 10 days. I still haven't gotten a confirmation from them. So I'm anxiously awaiting.
Yeah,
And that's
shipping's an
local.
issue
Like that's
right
a
now.
state to state, interstate thing. And I've been almost 14 days since I placed an order. So
Jeez.
hopefully
Wow.
I'll get them. So Hans, just bear with us, man. They're probably still stuck on the East Coast.
Yeah. What do you say we kind of scoot over this way? A little bit? 'Cause we're all a
Connor
little
saying,
bit off.
"What up? Haven't caught the stream in a while. Missed you all." What's up, Connor? Decon, happy Friday Eve, everyone. Hope you've all had a great week. Thank you, Decon.
Thank you.
Our buddy Graham Marshall. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Happy Friday Eve from Dusty, UK evening. I hope everyone is well. Yeah, Dusty does not sound fun.
Mm.
The poet's asking the question: do we also get a lawn tour at Anthony's? Does that-
So the thing is I think when we had filmed that episode, my lawn was not in its best shape because of the drought. Remember
Yeah.
not the drought,
well,
but
not
remember,
a drought. It was a neighborhood
It was
drought.
a neighborhood
Yeah.
drought where they shut off my water for 5 days, right? So I don't want anybody being too harsh about my damn lawn and the video and being like, "Oh, it looks like he's got a spot over there." Literally, I was making something out of nothing. So just
Yeah, you had buckets of water. You
It
were out there
looks-
with a couple spray bottles.
no,
Which
it
is
ju-
why
it
I'm
just
so happy that this will be forever memorialized because there's a scene that shows your yard in this video.
Oh, fun.
not my address though, right?
Nope, blocked out that part. So you're good
That's
there.
good.
But they
Yeah.
will see your
Glad
yard.
we
No,
worked
Don't want
so
anybody
hard on
showing
that.
up to my house now,
don't
right?
be doing that.
So
Dan Smith
Dope.
says, "I'm new to the podcast. What's Green Star?"
Ah,
Green Star
Koshemi.
is a universal cleaner
Yep.
from Koshemi. It is a
Highly
considered
dilutable.
an APC. It's for interior and exterior use. Highly dilutable. It is a green-friendly product, biodegradable, and I believe at least I think it's biodegradable. Maybe I shouldn't say that unless I know for sure, but I think so.
Yeah.
But it's a really safe all-purpose cleaner. It's just
It's
good
nice.
all around.
It's
It comes
nice.
in a 1 liter bottle. I think we also sell it in a 5 liter. Yeah, give it a shot if you like it.
Yeah. it's good.
And Hans Klosen, TRC EU should get more PNS products like their coatings. So, Sydney, do you know of what's going on in the European market with PNS products and coatings?
I don't specifically. I just know that it's like Levi said, everything like shipping and getting stuff across, on boats.
and there's
is
also
not
different-
going
So when we
well.
were there in Monterey,
Mm-hmm.
they were talking about Rag Company. One of the guys came out with a clipboard and said, "Do we have
yeah.
time to go over Russia and Netherlands
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
and their orders?" So they were putting the orders together. So
Yeah. Yep.
Hans Patrick's buying that stuff. I don't know if he's carrying the coatings because of the fact that Patrick is carrying the Optimum coatings.
Well,
so you have to talk to him about
Hans,
that.
do you think that there's a high demand for PNS products in Europe?
and
in the
not just
Netherlands?
you, but
I
like
think there
other
is,
people.
Not,
too.
not just
No,
you. but
Patrick's
other
selling
people.
out of everything he's getting.
No, he's
Oh.
not.
Yeah,
Is
he's
he
already
really?
pre-sold everything usually before it arrives.
That's how much
Yeah.
people are liking
Yes.
the PNS products.
That's
over
how
there?
Yes.
slow shipping is.
Yeah, and what I always tell people, because we get this question a lot on our social media, is I always just tell people if your distributor's not carrying what you want, just ask them.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I think the more that we make sure we ask them and don't just look other places, they have to know that the demand is there.
Yeah.
Right.
exactly.
They don't
so
know.
I just always tell people if your distributor doesn't currently carry it, keep bugging them about it.
Yeah.
Ask them to bring it in.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Very cool.
Graham.
Graham says, it has come to pass that from this day forth, the TRC crew shall be known as the Lads.
That's funny.
That's
I've
great.
actually
Thank you,
never
I like that.
thought
Levi
about
Anthony
that.
did.
Never thought of that.
That
I'm
is
sure
super
we've
funny.
heard that many times, but
Can roll with that.
yeah. Poet says, "Yep," and clarity cream,
Yes.
please.
Yes.
And then
Clarity
Han says,
cream's
"Yes,
the
let's
bomb.
spam TRCEU."
All right, let's find out where we are. We are
Ah,
here. Page one.
Alexander Bachman. Works great.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Whoa! All of a sudden,
Oh.
everything jumped.
Oh. Yes, says
Yes,
works
there
great.
it is.
Wonder if Alex is enjoying all of his
All
new
of his,
goodies.
that's probably what he means. Everything
Yeah.
that he has works
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Damon says, is it recommended for a subsequent soap wash after the decom process is complete? Will this ultimately prep the paint canvas for a compound and polishing step? Yeah.
Not really.
So,
the second, I think the second that you, dude, I think the second you start polishing, especially if you're using paint preps and things like that, I think it all doesn't matter.
So, yeah.
Unless the one thing I like to do is I like to do an O&R wash after compounding and polishing. Do a quick little wash before I paint prep
I can see that.
everything.
Yeah.
You know, or just a damp O&R towel and
Yeah,
give the car a
that's
wipe
what
down.
I do.
Right,
So-
it removes any extra residue.
Yeah, so after you've washed the car and you've decontaminated it, basically what I like to do is I try to do a decon wash first. So I do decontamination steps.
Yeah.
Then I wash with soap.
That's
then
what
I
I do.
rinse.
Yeah.
And then I just, then I do my clay, my mechanical, like my clay and all that kind of stuff.
Well,
and
'cause
then
at that
I'll,
point you can stick to rinseless after everything's
yeah.
knocked
And
off
sometimes
the
I
car.
do that. Like I'll do O&R as my clay lube. I'll clay the car and then I'll just do a quick O&R wash to wipe all the, just
Yeah.
any of the leftovers. And then I'll wipe it down and then I'll start compound and polishing.
Yeah.
Or I'll wipe it down with lacquer
I think
thinner.
that's the
and
beauty
then
of
I'll do
that's the
compound and
beauty that
polishing.
if you are not doing a full correction and you are doing the Uno Protect Bead Maker combo, it's nice because the bead maker just helps pick up all that residual stuff.
Yeah.
I just want to
Great.
shout out Hans here, who says he's been watching a lot of old TRC vids on the YouTubes. Thank you for doing that,
Nice.
Hans. I recommend other people do the same because you might ask us to do something and it turns out we've actually done it before.
Yeah.
So we've got like 800 plus videos in our back catalog now on the main channel and then tons more on
Yeah.
the FAQ and the podcast. So check them out.
Dan Pfeiffer says Bead Maker 2.0.
Yep, product yeller back again.
right. And then Ed, hey guys, got a polish scheduled next week, and I was thinking of trying Levi's Uno Bead Maker combo. I know Uno has protection, but does that mean it also fills imperfections? Anthony.
So Uno has slight filling properties. Slight. So not to like an extent of like a traditional glaze or anything like that. It's basically, it has the ability to correct, but it also has the ability to fill in some very minor stuff. But in our experience, though, I mean, if you're running that particular product through a full cycle, or at least taking a little bit of time in that area, even being a one step, we found that we've taken a paint prep or panel wipe to that area that we did Uno Protect, and the panel is still looks
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Like it didn't fill in that much, and so. I think based on what Dylan at Rupa says, it'll fill ever so slightly, but not enough to where it would essentially, make it look.
And what I like is
fake.
it's pad dependent cut too, so you
Yeah.
can actually increase the pad.
So what's
and
your
it
favorite
finishes
pad?
off. I use the blue course for everyone.
I like the yellow wool but it's up to you. But I think between those two, you can't go wrong.
No, you can pretty much get everything
And
done.
some people just like the yellow foam.
Well, and some people struggle to realize it does actually correct some. Like people think that it doesn't for some reason because it's an all-in-one or something, but it actually does. It
Has
does
some
correct.
Sydney got to use it at Rupez after she built her tool
Yeah. Before it
on
came
the
out,
rental
yeah.
car before it even came out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So nice. Well,
But
there you
well,
go.
then Levi had to break the internet and say,
Yeah,
hey,
well, that
if
was
you
all
s-
me. I came up with that.
If you
combo.
spray bead
That
maker
was
on
Anthony
Uno,
had
once it's
absolutely
set up,
nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let
it
it be
just
known this day
takes
forth.
it to the next level.
Yeah.
It was just crazy. Such a good idea.
Yeah, such a
moving
good idea
on,
from me.
Brian Schwab says, "What's up, TRC? Did we talk about B Baker 2.0 yet? This is a rumor I'm hearing."
I want to know where these guys hear these
Think about rumors
about
as they're not
stuff.
always true.
Same.
Like, is
Yeah.
it Rennie? that's breaking
Is it
all
like
these things?
what's
Or
happening is Rennie's probably meeting these guys in like a back alley somewhere, and
he's like
hand-
handing them pieces of paper.
yeah, he's
and
like
it says
handing him an
Beatmaker 2.0,
envelope,
and they're
right?
like,
Yeah.
And then people are like, but Rennie, wait, and he's
already
gone.
gone. He's like ghost. Like,
I was thinking-
it's like a crow flies
Yeah.
off.
He's got like he's
Yeah.
got a trench coat, right? And there's like
Yeah.
big pockets in it, and out comes like a
Yeah.
funny
And
looking
people
his
like-
trench
speaker
coat,
bottle.
his fedora, and sunglasses.
Where'd he
Yeah.
go? Was that Rennie Doyle? I saw a crow fly off. What happened?
Yeah.
It's like a little bit of Sin City meets like Dick Tracy kind
Yep.
of thing going on. Yeah.
And
Anyways,
it's probably
totally
just
legit.
literal pieces of paper, like small slips that are rolled up, and he's just handing them out. And they're like, "Is this a pill? Do I take it?" And he goes, "You just unroll it." And
Yeah.
they unroll it, and it says
It
Beatmaker
sounds
2.0. It
sounds
says
like this is just some like
something,
lore
something.
being passed around. I don't
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
know much about it.
So it's
People say a lot of
definitely a
things.
rumor.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Despacho says, for the money, PNS Pearl Shampoo is such a great car wash soap.
For
My
sure.
go-to for dirty cars.
Nice.
Great.
Sydney, how long have you been using Pearl for?
Oh gosh. 3 years maybe?
Yeah.
3 years?
Yeah.
What
3
was your
years.
first product that you were the biggest advocate of in the PNS line? Like the first product that really sold you?
Well, bead maker.
Yeah.
Was a big one, and then I hadn't yet used Brake Buster yet, and I don't even remember how, but somehow I got my hands on a gallon of
Yeah.
Express Interior before it was in the double black line, and that was kind of the one that definitely turned me on to PNS more. I think I had like Terminator
Yeah.
before, which was great. I loved Bead Maker, so I was a huge fan already. But then Express Interior was one that I got my hands on that then I definitely wanted to know more about PNS. And for those of you that have heard my story, that was kind of the reason why I ended up at the rag company the morning that the guys were here, is because I wanted to know why Express Interior wasn't a thing.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Pretty cool. Do you ever imagine that you would see your face on the bottle of Bead Maker?
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
So Sid had a run
right
of Bead
behind you.
Maker.
Been
Yeah.
a wild ride. Yeah.
Oh, there she is, smiling right back.
Yep.
So it's pretty cool, right? Hans would probably pay a lot of money for this bottle.
Yeah.
Hans would be like, "Wait, I didn't know that was a
Yeah,
thing.
That's a special
I have
edition.
two in
I
my
need
garage.
it.
Yeah.
How
You might-
much to get her to sign it and ship
Yeah,
it to
we
me?"
get asked that a lot. I've got to figure out some kind of fun promotion for that or something, because I do get asked that a lot, how they get it.
Something to
Ed
ponder.
says, follow-up question, how do you explain using an all-in-one product with filling agents to customers, if at all? I don't think you do explain
I don't
it.
explain
don't.
it. Mm-mm.
They
You
just
don't-
care
you've
You've
about
got
the
different
result.
levels of stuff,
more
and
often than
it's
not.
all in how you talk to your customer and what they want to do.
It's already
in their
knowing your
budget.
customer before you even know what you're going to be putting on their car.
Well, and all my customers, like I have customers that go, I want this, like that Magnum I have this week. They brought it in and they said, we want to make it as nice as possible. We just bought this thing. We want to make it as nice as possible, but we'd also like you to pull all the emblems and pull the moldings and just get it so it doesn't look like we want it to be nice. And they couldn't decide whether they wanted to coat it or not. So I said, all right, this is my price and here's what we're doing. Now, I'm going to try to do a one-step on it if I can, but if I have to do a two-step, I will. But if I can get away with Uno Protect on it,
Yeah.
I might do that, especially if they don't want a coating. I'll just
Yeah.
do that and then let
It'll
them
hold up
deal
too.
with
It's
it.
not like it disappears
Yeah,
tomorrow.
they wash their cars at home. They use Pearl soap. They use Bead Makers, a drying aid, and they use Rag Company towels already. That's how I know how they wash it.
Yeah, educating your customer can save you on the back end
Yeah.
where they're not upset because they didn't somehow tear away the protection you left there.
Yeah.
Right
Now
away.
they did bring me a truck that they finished, and they were like, "Hey, we need you to double check the body shop's work, finish, correct it, and then we want legend on it."
And you can usually
Yeah.
tell with a person too if they're looking for, I want it to look good for the next week while I try and sell it versus I
Yeah.
want it to look good for years.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and
And
this car, they said, we want you to strip all
They
this
will
stuff
pay
off,
accordingly.
but we're willing to paint some panels if we have to. And so, but they're like, we just don't know what all we want to do to this car. Now, this is a 275,000 mile Magnum wagon that they bought.
Dang.
And they're willing to dump quite a bit of
What
money.
motor's
into
in
it.
that thing?
It's the normal Hemi.
Yeah, because they had the option of the V6 or the Hemi.
Well,
Even
if
the
it, was,
V6
if
is
it had the
decently-
Magnum, that would just be
It is,
broken.
I think it's a Hemi Magnum.
Hemi.
Well, there's no such thing as there's a Hemi or there's a Magnum.
Yeah, I don't know what
The
it is.
Magnum was arguably the best motor ever built.
It's a
The
Hemi.
Magnum
I
was
remember
a
because I took the
wagon
Hemi
version of
emblems
the
off.
Charger,
Mm.
which
But
automatically
those
makes
off, I
it
just
cooler.
peeled
So Sid's a huge fan of Hemis.
Huge. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And since they don't
How many
make the
Hemis do you
Magnum
have in
anymore,
your household right now?
Well, we only have two.
Only have two.
Only have two. We have a 5.7 liter Hemi. Durango,
Ooh.
and then we have the 6.2 liter Hemi Challenger
For
Scat
$399.
Pack.
What's
Yeah.
is there, so basically there's two different Hemis, three different Hemis?
There's probably 3.
Yeah.
And then it's just a matter of how much, what they slap a supercharger on it
Yeah.
or not.
Yeah.
Well, there's a
Yeah.
5.7, the 6.4. Was there an in between?
I would arguably
I
say
think there's
the
one below the
Pentastar
5.7.
V6 was one of
okay.
the
Yeah.
one of the great motors.
Pentastar V6, I heard that was one of the worst
Well,
motors ever
No,
made.
one of the
The
best
5,
motors.
I think it's the 5.2 is his Magnum. Is that
Maybe.
one?
Yeah.
it's a
That's
5.2.
It's a 318.
the Hemi
318,
officially
yeah.
designated as such. Hemi
318
started
big
at
block,
5.7,
right,
I think.
Levi?
318, no, it's a small block.
Small? But it's it sounds so big.
It does sound big,
Oh.
but it's not.
Question though for Sid: if the Magnum was still being produced at the same time your Durango was available, would you have gone for the Magnum or the Durango, and you would have stopped?
Oh,
with
the
it?
Durango, hands
Okay.
down.
You
the
want that
Magnum,
ride height?
Yeah. I mean, I think as I'm aging, station wagons are looking a little bit cooler.
Yeah.
But
That's all I'm saying. I'm a
yeah,
big wagon fan, so.
five years ago, I would have said absolutely no to the wagon. But now there's a couple wagons out there that I think are pretty sweet.
The only time I
Um,
ever see one of those Magnum wagons is usually at like a Sonic drive-in at 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I don't know that I could go for the Magnum wagon, but I could
If they
probably.
could do a Magnum wagon with the new body style,
Yeah.
Charger body style,
Yeah.
Oh,
I would do it. in
I've
a
seen
heartbeat.
some
Yeah.
like modded Chargers that have the back end,
Yeah.
and it's close, but it still looks kind of wrong.
Yeah.
The one wagon I would drive would be the CTSV.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, the
Ooh.
Find
what
the
year was
6-speed
that?
manual one of those?
2000
Like
what year?
14.
They never
Yeah.
dip below
They only made them
50K
for like
on
1
those
year or
things,
2
though.
years.
Yeah.
But the manual
Yeah.
They held
wagon,
their
I would
value
drive
in
that in a
that, so.
heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see
Awesome
Dane
cars.
driving the CTSV.
Oh no, I was eyeballing
before
some.
I bought
Yeah.
my Camry, I was looking at the CTSVs
Yeah.
and the CTS wagons. Couldn't find them though.
Yeah.
No,
there
they're
was
hard
like
to
No, they're
two or
so hard to
three
find.
in the
Yeah.
entire
Yeah.
U.S. for sale,
Right.
and the money was crazy.
I
on
think
them.
there's one
they,
on Bring a
they
Trailer
didn't
right now.
depreciate much.
No,
Yeah.
they were
There's
like
a
the one
black
Cadillac.
one on Bring
Yeah.
a Trailer that looks
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah, and I
but
think
it's
the
an
last
auto.
time-
It's not the stick.
I think the last time I looked at it, it was at like 45,000
Yeah.
or something.
The other
that
thing
doesn't
was my wife
surprise
said
me.
she wouldn't drive a Cadillac.
Yeah, the prices.
Ooh.
Woo.
And if it's
And
a
I said,
manual, add 20K to
ouch.
whatever
Yeah,
the
the
auto.
Cadillac tattooed on my
Yeah.
knuckles.
You literally have it on your
I
knuckles.
literally have it tattooed on my knuckles. And she goes,
I feel like, how many Cadillacs do you have? You're like, I have a Hyundai, I have a
Toyota.
Toyota.
Chop shop.
I used to have a Cadillac,
Yeah.
and I used to have a Lincoln, and I sold the Lincoln because everybody said you have Cadillac tattooed on your knuckles, and you drive a
get
Lincoln.
your knuckles covered. It says Hyundai on it.
I could probably make that work.
Oh man.
Does it say Hyundai?
High
It is.
performance,
In a
yes.
celebration of the new Elantra Inn.
That's a nasty car.
So funny.
The N is for nasty.
all right.
All right.
All right,
Gorilla
Gorilla
Jeebus.
Jeebus. Hello from Germany, everybody. I tried using PNS's interior cleaner on the touchscreen of my car. It left quite a lot of streaks. Should I use O&R instead, or have I done something wrong? Thanks. Yeah, just use O&R. You can use PNS interior cleaner. Spray it on the towel, clean it.
Yeah.
Flip your towel,
Yeah.
wipe your streaks off. Don't just let it dry.
Yeah, spray it
So-
on the towel, and then I also on my Express Interior I dilute it 1-to-1. Full strength it can be a little bit hotter, as they would say, the cleaning ability, and so I like to dilute it
Yeah, I do
1-to-1. Then
too.
I know that it's it still cleans
And it lasts
like
much longer.
so great, and then I don't ever have any issue with the screens. I use it on my screens, but like you, I spray it on the towel
Yeah.
first. I don't ever spray it directly on the screen. And then there's just certain screens that, like they're kind of like the early 2000s, but they almost have a
They're
rough
like that
texture. They're not like the glass
thicker-
texture. I'm always really careful about those with anything. So, just spray it on the towel first and try diluting it 1-to-1.
Yeah. Pedro says, Dan Pfeiffer, I heard a leak of development of Beadmaker 2.0 TRC. Is this correct?
Are they all
So
getting
crazy.
envelopes
It's
from
all-
Rennie Doyle?
They have to be.
So
right?
weird.
Well, this is all like that baiting, like they're trying to
Is
see
it-
if somebody will confirm
Is
something.
it the same
It's just-
alleyway, or why does Rennie keep meeting so many guys in alleys? I don't know what's going
I don't
on.
know
This
either.
is
It's
getting
very
weird.
strange.
And
But
on that
again,
note-
funny.
Again, I remember when we were at Monterey, I noticed a number of crows and ravens. and all
There
of
were a
sudden,
lot of them in
I would
Monterey.
talk to
Had
Rennie,
letters.
and then I would turn around because I'd hear like someone say something or something, and I'd turn around and it'd be gone, but there'd be a crow or raven in the tree.
Yep.
cawing at me,
Yeah.
and then it'd fly off, and then I'd hear everybody going like, "Oh, Rennie's just showed up." Like,
It's
just
passing
passing around.
words around with apparently.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is
ravens.
I've never seen that crow and Rennie in the same place at the
that's
same
true.
time.
I didn't either.
Anyways,
Yeah.
guys, we seriously have no idea what's
Yeah, I
talking
don't know
about.
what you're talking about, and I'd love to know where are you hearing
Right,
this
where are you
stuff?
hearing
Are you
it.
guys just making it up and hoping you're
Yeah.
right? Is that
I
it?
feel like
Where are you hearing it? Because honestly, I mean, I sit in all those planning meetings, and
Yeah, you would've
it's
heard.
actually kind of funny when the topic gets brought up because everybody asks, right? When are you coming out with a Bead Maker 2.0? And half the table is like, yeah, maybe we should look at something, and then the other half is like, if you touch it, we'll kill you.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we're at like a standstill right now. But to be
Weird.
honest, though, the deal is, it's obviously something that Dave and Bob are always looking at. But I think that what's great is that they refuse to come out with a product that doesn't just meet, kind of what's out there. It has to far exceed.
Yeah.
And so, Bead Maker is great. I love Bead Maker. I'm on the side that don't touch it.
Well, it works for us.
yeah,
It works for us,
yeah.
all of us, very well.
Yeah.
Right. And so I don't, there's no 2.0.
Straight up, just said.
Yeah.
it.
There's
I'd like to
not.
know where you're getting this
There's
information.
not,
I
yeah.
feel like people are
Yeah.
are just
a lot of-
gotta be
I
meeting
don't know.
Rennie
I
and
A lot of
They're just
photoshopped
they're
images
putting
floating
bugs in
around.
people's ears that don't
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah.
We have Force Induction says, when is that new Dreamy towel coming out? Well, I've already told you guys
Soon?
it's coming out, so hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Next couple weeks. We have for no reason though is that
Yeah.
towel coming
No.
out.
Base
in relation to
Maester.
nothing else.
the Base Maester 1953.
Yes.
The
What does
base
paint correction mean to you?
You have to yell it. We've got question yellers now, just straight up.
Okay.
What is it? What does it mean to me? Paint correction.
Yeah.
So imagine
Mean to
like
me.
you're talking to a customer and you're
What
trying
does
to
it
explain
mean to
what
me?
paint
It means
correction is.
removing defects to a reasonable amount that are being paid for.
Yeah, there you go.
And basically, yeah. I mean, that's.
I mean, I rarely do anything more than a one step anymore,
Yeah.
unless
Well,
I'm fully sanding the vehicle.
Your classic explanation is, okay, so you have peaks and valleys, and those valleys are the result of scratches, gouges, marring, that kind of thing. And all you're trying to do is reduce the distance from the bottom of that valley to the top of that peak. And
Dane,
you're
are
just
you a
trying to bring it down in
certified
the middle.
detailer?
What?
Dane, you talking like a detailer
Talking
lately.
like a detailer. man.
Have you been
Don't
detailing
confuse
in your
yourself. I'm
spare
not-
time?
Have you been
Not a
getting ready to
detailer.
take the CD and the SV test?
I've heard
Sounds
enough to
like
be
it.
dangerous, but
So,
heard a lot
yeah.
of things.
I'll say on this one that, usually when I'm doing coatings and things like that, I let them know I do a single step polish. Like that's what's included. If the word paint correction comes up, then the price goes significantly higher.
Yeah.
Because to me, I use that paint correction as like, we're talking serious. Like,
We're going to do something that you
we're
may not
talk-
want
like,
to do.
Right. So the paint correction doesn't come out for me unless that is like a
they asked
known
for it
conversation
specifically.
between the
Yeah.
customer. Because that's my thing is I don't use my polisher a whole lot unless I'm being paid for it. So
Well, and I look
right.
at it as like people need to. The hard part is the buzzword, and now with the internet, this
Yeah.
wasn't something that I dealt with
right.
5 years ago when I had my shop.
Yeah.
I didn't deal with customers going, I want a paint correction.
Yeah.
They just said, I need it buffed.
Right.
And I'd go, well, what do
Right.
you want to get it? What do you want to get done on it? And they go, well, I don't know. I want to make it like
Yeah.
get some of these scratches. And they point at like 5 or 6
Yeah.
scratches around the car.
Yeah.
And I would say, that's not going to come out. This
Right.
will come out. That won't come out. And I just tell them, now, if you want me to do these things, we're talking 2, 3. Because I had it. I had 1 step. I had 2 step. I had 3 step.
Yeah. Yep.
And a 3 step, I usually said, this is, we're going to do a price.
Yeah.
This is going to be this. I'd never put the price.
Yeah.
But I'd say a 1 step was going to be this much, like $150, and a 2 step was going to be $300
Yeah.
just for that job.
Yeah. And I actually have it as a totally separate menu item.
Yeah.
So I mean I have detail, I have interior, I have exterior detail, I have coatings, and then I have paint corrections.
Yeah.
So they know that the paint correction doesn't come with any of those other things.
Yes.
I want it to be a
Basically.
mirror, and right now it's ruined. Yeah, that's going to start in the 4
Yeah.
digits, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
moving on here. We
Yeah.
got a Alkaline Trio says, Sydney, have you noticed any durability bonding issues when coating trim that has been treated with solution finish?
Only if you do it too early. So if the solution finish has not totally cured on its own, you could potentially pull the solution finish back off with the coating. And then neither one really turns out great. So that's kind of the biggest thing is if you're using solution finish, I think a lot of times you can just be done. Or you can use like the over the top. But if you're going to be coating something, so for instance, I had a Jeep that we did solution finish. 3 months later, the Jeep came back for its maintenance detail. And then at that point, I threw inspiration over it to kind of to seal the solution finish because it was still performing perfectly. But I don't think you can do it too early because then you're not going to get a solid, consistent bond with the coating, and you could potentially be pulling the solution finish back off. One that I know definitely pulls the solution finish off if you do it too early is Soul.
Yeah.
That one definitely, it'll pull it right off. So the solution finish needs to be fully cured on its own.
There you go.
Okay.
Very good. GR says, bow down to the queen of detailing.
Very nice of them.
Frank C.
She
says,
didn't fight that, by the way. You see that?
Frank C. says, just wanted to say what's up, guys, and gal, FJC Mobile Detailing from San Bernardino, California. Happy detailing.
Hey,
Thanks,
man.
Frank.
Machines and agri. Does
Agriculture.
P&S bead maker have a shelf life when opened? No, not really. Temperature.
Yeah.
You don't want to freeze it.
Yep.
But no, not really.
I mean,
pretty
once
good.
it's open, I've
And even when it's
had
frozen, it's not
had
that
gallons that have lasted over a year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well over a year.
Yeah.
Dan Smith, what's the difference between a regular Honda engine versus a VTEC? White Civic guy. I don't know what that
My
is.
skin
Well,
tone
white
has to
Civic
do
guy,
with
what
anything.
say you?
He's probably talking to you.
White Civic.
Yeah, he's talking to you.
He's not talking about he's talking about just literally the white Civic,
The
not
white
not
Civic.
me being white, a white guy.
Right.
Was
He
White
just
Civic
wants to
color
know
of
the
the
difference
car.
between a VTEC and a non-VTEC.
I'll just
engine.
tell you that that my Elantra, when I'm cracking that VTEC,
Yeah.
it's pretty sweet. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
I know that much.
You don't have VTEC on there.
What?
It's variable valve timing.
Yeah. You don't
Pretty
have,
sure I
you
do.
don't- You don't have VTEC on that.
Pretty sure I do. I've got VTEC stickers on the
No,
side of
that's
the
not
car.
VTEC.
Tells
No.
me
Nope.
that's true.
A lot of companies came up with a lot of names for it, but Honda was one of the pioneers
Honda,
there with
yeah,
VTEC.
Honda. Yeah, basically, it's just variable valve timing, meaning that at a certain point in your RPM range, basically, you have an increase in power. I mean, that's the easiest way to put it.
More
And
valves get opened.
Who actually has a great video on it is Engineering Explained. If you want to like really nerd out over the difference, does
He
a
used to
different-
live here.
Yeah, he does a difference on what does VTEC actually mean and what is variable valve timing. But like for example, like Mitsubishi's have it. It's called MyVec in theirs, right? It's always something with EC, VTEC, MyVec, VTEC.
Yeah,
Oh,
or
there's
in Toyota's case, they always did VVTI, as in variable valve timing hyphen intelligent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just in the Honda engines, it's always been the most noticeable
but
thing, the
Camry's
most
got it.
most audible.
it really
thing.
obviously
It's
changes.
a very audible sound and
The crossover. It's got a
and
name.
yeah, it's the crossover, and it's just it always made it to where there was just a bigger power increase as well, right?
Yeah.
And so especially in engines that are meant to be efficient. Right.
Well, he went from
It's-
making no power to making some
yeah,
power.
so
That's
basically
why it
you
was
go
so
from,
noticeable.
You go
as he
from
went
great
from,
gas mileage to no gas mileage, and as long as you stay in that range, right, you'll go a lot faster, but you're going to burn through that gas. So that's the biggest difference. Honda makes great engines, regardless of whether they have VTEC or don't have
I think
VTEC.
my lawnmower has it too.
It doesn't always make.
Honda GDI.
Pretty
No,
sure
it
that just
doesn't.
stays at a solid RPM all the
160.
time.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
But,
Pretty sure it says VTEC on it.
Hans goes and says, "Good thing his address is blocked. Luke will ring his doorbell for sure. Honk his horn." Yeah, the second that Luke Berge shows up outside of my house
man.
one day is the day I will be a little concerned.
The next time he comes, I'm going to drive him over there.
Well, remember when we were at Adam LZ's house and people would drive past his house and then rev at it and then drive on? It was like,
That's what
it's
you
like
need.
they knew.
So,
Rev it.
Oh.
so
I've
not
got a
to-
guy that does that with his big block. He drives by my house, revs it up, and I was like, wow, it's really cool. He must recognize the big block that I have
Yeah.
in my Suburban.
So when people do
and
like
then,
animals
then I
marking
found out it
their
was because the
territory.
old man across the street
Yeah.
had asked him to always rev it up for him.
Oh.
And so I was like, it's cool that he's revving his engine up for me. And the old man was like, no, he revs that for me.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, okay.
Wow.
yeah, sure.
because a
Mike
good way to
does
help
that
with
for
those,
all the neighbors.
a good way to help with those kids that do that, you just throw rocks at their car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a handful
I don't
of
think they'll
rocks.
do
Stop
that again.
revving! Whack! I'm kidding. Don't do that. But what I will say, speaking of that, not to get too off topic, I did watch. There's this YouTuber. His name's Whistling Diesel, right?
Yeah.
Some people hate him. Some people like him.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It was actually so funny because in his latest video, he titled it, "I Bought Half of America," right? I don't know where these YouTubers are getting so much money. I'm telling you right now, we don't have that much money here at the Rad Company
must be
making
stopped.
YouTube videos. But this guy literally bought like an insane amount of land, like an insane amount. I don't know how many acres he said it was, but it's got 2 mountains. and it's got like valleys.
Okay,
and It's
dude.
got like I think it's got like
It's
a river.
possible.
So
Yeah.
he bought all this, and his main reason for doing it is he was tired of people finding out where he lived. So he said, "So I just bought enough land so nobody can find me."
I could just put myself in the middle and no one will ever get
and
there
he's-
without some serious security.
He's like,
in the
he's
way.
standing on a mountain. He's like, I think I'm going to put my house right here on this mountain. He's like,
On
but
the
that
mountain.
mountain's over there is pretty good too. I'm just sitting here. I'm like, well, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So, pretty interesting video.
No, but you
There's a
can do
party that
like,
wants to do that too.
Carly has some land that her grandparents,
Because
grandparents had.
Carly is an oil baroness.
Yes.
She's an oil baroness.
Yeah.
And so we have numerous oil companies every year vying for drilling rights on her property.
Yeah.
And we get checks in the mail, mailbox money, as I like to call it. But
It's like
that's what
royalties.
that is. Like her grandpa bought acres and acres of land. Problem is, it's nowhere you ever want to live.
Right.
It is it is not beautiful land. It is
Yeah.
out in the middle of nowhere in Wyoming and Utah on the border. You can't that'd be fun to build a neighborhood out. It's like, it is no man's land. Like you will die out there.
Oh,
You don't know what you're doing. Like,
Yeah.
but that's what he just bought all this land because it was so cheap back then. And there's still places in the U.S. that are like that.
Oh, yeah.
And when the BLM tries to sell a lot of that land too, that's available. Like I knew a guy that I worked with that was a retired Navy pilot
You're talking
or
about
Navy
Boise Land
mechanic.
Management?
Yeah, Bureau of
Bureau
Land
of
Bureau
Land
of Land
Management.
Management. Okay.
So they'll have these sales where you can pick up acreages for a couple bucks.
Oh, wow.
But
Really?
it's out in the middle
Right.
of
You would- you would
will
never
not
use
be able,
it
You would never
for a
be able to
house.
use it. Like you're gonna have to drive for an hour and a half on your own land. to
Try
and
me.
get to it.
Try me. I need a
But
place
he did
to...
that. He would literally. He's like, I got this place down in Nevada, and I'm like, that looks like Area 51, like they used to do nuclear tests. He's like, they did. It was pretty back then. That's really dropped the bomb.
It's not as radioactive
Yeah,
now.
he would literally take a weekend and hook up his trailer, and he'd just go camp there, and he'd come back with pictures, and he's in the middle of a desert.
I was gonna say
And I was
camping
like,
in the
you're gonna
desert
die
never
out
struck
there
me
one
as
of these
like-
days when your truck doesn't
fun.
start. And he's like, nah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
I've seen The Hills Have Eyes.
So,
I don't trust
yeah, that's
that.
literally what it was
Yeah.
like. So it is doable. So who's not to say we could one day get our own random pieces of land.
Just gonna run to the store real quick. 5 hours
Caught
later,
up.
we're almost there.
Caught up with bead maker. What's Graham saying there?
There
Yeah,
you
caught
go.
your bead maker with Pan the Organizer video last night. Now on my wish list. Hello, Sydney. That's an old one and a hilarious
It's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always a good one to go back to.
Yeah.
I'm interested
Dino
in,
in Poland saying I'm interested in PNS coatings, also live in EU.
Yeah.
Also live at the EU.
Yeah. Got Josh here. Is Ragnarok getting 5% tint all around, ceramic or standard?
I don't know, Josh. We have a roll like right here on the other side of the wall.
Do you know
I'm
if
gonna
it's
grab that
ceramic
one.
or
I don't-
standard,
I don't
though?
know what it is.
Oh.
I don't even know the number.
It's just
Is
a
it
mystery
a whole
tint.
roll
yeah, it's 2 rolls. We have 2 rolls of
of
something.
tint?
Tint on the other side over here.
We should tint some.
That's what I've been saying. I've
I
been
thought-
trying to
I
get
thought-
you to join me. in
No,
this
I thought
tint
you were
shop
just
we're gonna
talking about all
create.
this tinting crap because you just had a
No,
wild
we have
hair.
2 rolls sitting there for almost a
I'll
year.
join you. I want to learn
Wow.
how to
I
tint.
didn't know
See,
we had
Sid
the
and I talked about
product.
it too, but we
So
need to do that.
the
I'm all
Rag
about
Company
it.
Tint School starts next Monday.
Hopefully,
right?
if I
Well,
get
hold
my
on. Before we
tools.
can teach anybody, we got to learn first, guys.
If I get my tools in the mail, but don't worry, Josh is over there. He wants
Yeah.
to come over and help.
You're accredited
ready to
professional.
learn.
Cut
Learn
through
Here
the
soon.
headliner on accident. What are you doing?
Why are you
Anthony?
tinting the headliner? I don't know.
Seemed like a thing to do. Yeah.
Cut it.
Gorilla
So,
Jeebus back
yeah.
again.
Gorilla Jeebus, do you guys think that the speed of cargoes has an influence on how long protection products last and which wheel cleaners to use? Living in Germany, I feel like Autobahn speeds affects products. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Brake
When you
braking,
apply
brake
the
dust,
brake, the heat builds
heating,
up
the amount
faster.
of heat cycles you're creating on the brakes.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I do
Yeah.
notice that Magic Wheel Cleaner is more acidic than other iron removers.
Yeah.
So that might have something to do with it.
But some-
developed in Germany.
Some brakes dust more than others, and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
just a
Yeah.
fact of life. So, yeah, that's going to happen one way or the other.
Yeah.
At first, I thought he was talking about, like, paint protection. I'm like, not really, no. Unless you're talking about, like, G-Technic C0, where it's actually designed to make the car smoother, slipperier through the air, which is a benefit. We got Alex.
Says, oh, I was talking about the CR Spotless system. And then he says, but yes, everything is amazing. Thank you. Because he won the gloss giveaway, full gloss giveaway.
Ah,
He
yes.
did.
Pretty
He
sweet.
did.
Sydney, Iron
That's a
X
good
is
question.
killing my bank account. I heard PNS has iron filing remover. How's the comparison? So
Yes.
you're talking about Iron Buster.
Iron Buster, yes. Iron Buster is awesome. It is, and I've tried every iron remover on the market, to be honest.
There's quite a few.
Iron Buster's awesome. It has probably half the smell,
Yeah.
maybe,
Yeah, I'd
and
say
it's
half
actually
the smell.
probably a third of the smell of Iron X. Iron X is probably the worst. But yes, Iron Buster, it has cherry scent. And still has the iron remover scent, but it's not near as bad as other ones. So it's super easy to use, very effective, much easier on the pocketbook, and it's just a really, really great iron remover. And I like it because I feel like it is safe. You know, some of them are a little bit too harsh, and I feel like Iron Buster you're not going to get yourself in trouble with. So Iron Buster is awesome. I definitely encourage you to try it out.
Yeah, the
I
bad
like
ones
it.
smell like you opened a portal to the netherworld, and it's nothing
Yeah.
but butts down there.
Yeah.
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 Well, doesn't sound like the worst place in the world.
Yeah.
It's just
Depending
a lot
on
of butts.
whose butt it is.
No.
Post smell says,
Oh, that's
is
funny.
it just me or does my clean car attract bugs like crazy? Do they love the scent of bead maker or paint gloss or the slickness? I have always attributed this to saying that they just like shiny cars and they probably like the
Yeah.
sweet scent.
It's like the
Yeah.
birds. You
Yeah.
know, they poop from how many,
yeah.
hundreds of feet above, but they
It's
see a
nice-
shiny
it's
car and they
shiny car would be
they
a
let
shame
loose.
if
But
Yeah.
somebody
In the
pooped
case
Right.
of
on it.
insects, you
Yeah.
figure they have, parts of the spectrum of their vision, like
Yeah.
UV spectrum vision, that
Right.
humans don't have. So they may be seeing like a color or something that you don't.
Yeah. Now
maybe
I
it
will
attracts them or
say,
something,
last year I remember, so it would have been mid-July. We were doing the car cruise in place of my car show, and we were all out in the garage working, and we could not keep the flies off the car.
Yeah.
And we were using bead maker, and it was like the more we sprayed, the more flies landed on the car. And I remember my husband had to be the official fly swatter. And so I do think that the sweet smell of bead
Mike's is out
maker
there.
could potentially,
It
but
is
I
very
wouldn't
sweet.
think that it would be bugs on the road because they don't have time to smell it.
Yeah.
No, those bugs.
Yeah,
they
those bugs
stink.
are definitely
Hanging off by the time they're
Yeah. But if
They
we're
hit it.
talking like if you've just used bead maker, they could be attracted to the sweet scent. you
Well, we
know.
noticed that
fruit
2 years
flies
ago
and things like
at
that.
Monterey.
Yeah.
Bugs were landing
Yeah.
on it while we were wiping them down.
Yeah.
But I think it's
Yeah.
just the bugs
but
were
it's
landing on
also the
stuff.
time of year though
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So like
It's
what's
only for a few weeks.
yeah, it's a few weeks. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like it's that weird time of year where fly season happens.
Right.
And then after that I've never noticed
Well,
it.
and there was
Yeah.
a difference too. Like when you did notice it, it was a brief window in time. Like once
Yeah.
it had been applied for like maybe half an hour to an hour,
Oh,
nobody
yeah.
cared anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were leaving it alone.
Yep.
So it might be the scent. Hans Closen says, let me put it this way. The Netherlands needs more high quality stuff here or stuff. There are a lot of brands that don't have a full line, including coatings or the brand heads or, heads or asses.
Well,
Good.
And blunt, but
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're
okay.
right, Hans. The hard problem is you got to remember we're shipping water over water, and so there's a lot of brands that are in the U.S. that aren't over. The biggest thing is it's cheaper to buy more products, and so if they're not going to buy a lot, then it doesn't make sense to ship that much stuff over there. So it's just a matter, or the cost. It's too great. By the time they bring it over, importation duties, taxes, all that stuff. So
sometimes it costs us to formulate it.
and on
produce
top
it
of that, you got to remember.
in country.
So one thing that Patrick and Rag Company Europe is doing, and they've been doing it in conjunction with PNS, is they had to get all the labels
Yeah.
registered for the
Yeah.
EU
Yep.
for shipping across the states, and that takes a really long time.
Really long time.
Especially in this era of COVID, where a lot of the businesses or the government offices are shut down and not approving
Right.
That's true.
those SDSs. So Patrick has been working really hard on trying to get all those translations, get all that stuff set up.
Yeah.
That way products can get in. That way the more they can do, the more they can get in. So where Europe, most of the EU products that are out available already now have those many language, all the different languages on them. They're already set up for that. So it's different for an American company coming into the US or into the EU, I mean. So yeah. Garrett, when using Motorplast, do you dry the engine bay first or apply it while it's still wet? Has to be wet.
That's how it works.
Keep it wet. Hans, it's a bit like Levi's old supplier.
Not sure what that was in reference to, but
I think he means that stuff coming in. I don't know. Luis, will TRC carry undressed? And what's the difference between Beatmaker and this other thing?
sorry,
so-
this was yeah.
Oh, yeah. Do I use Beadmaker after polishing my car or not, or before? Not sure when Beadmaker comes in. Afterwards, when you're done polishing.
Yeah.
So spray sealant.
It's
You're
the
adding on
last
the
thing you
polymer
put
sealant. And then Luis, will TRC carry undressed? What's the difference between bead maker and this other product? So as to undressed, we haven't even really gotten a chance to play with it. Sydney brought us a bottle so we can actually start playing with it. Our goal is to add a couple more of not the double black line, but we are looking at adding a couple from the professional line, professional series line.
Yeah.
So of PNS products. So we're going to be bringing some of those in because they are, like she said, getting new labels. And that was always the kind of the change up for us. So stay tuned. And then on your other question, we're going to have to wait, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
We'll talk more next week.
Weaver details.
Does Uno protect stain pads? It will temporarily stain pads. You might have a little bit of orange hue to them, but a little bit of rags to riches will fix that. And
It will seal them.
It will.
It's a sealant. You're adding a
it'll
sealant
seal
on your
them,
pads, so you
but
need to-
the rags to riches will remove the sealant out of the pads. So Alkaline Trio says Blue Bead Maker will be 2.0 in my heart forever. I thank you, Dan.
Wow.
I really appreciate
A
that.
real
Good work,
OG
Dan.
there.
I wish more people appreciated Blue Bead Maker when it existed.
We do too. And of course, now that people are hearing it, they're like, "Wait, there was a blue bead
Yeah,
maker! Oh my god!"
no,
And
forget
then
them.
it suddenly has an interest
The
level.
marketing
for
was
it.
out there, and we sold a lot, but it wasn't as fast as what I was hoping. I think that's what my problem. We did sell out.
You set your
We did sell it.
expectations.
It
We
just took a
we
while.
did sell out, but I wanted to sell out fast because I
Yeah.
wanted to prove a point, and
get
my
it done.
point was not really
it
proven
done.
because it took like a month or
Oh,
two to sell
can't
out,
wait.
or maybe even longer.
Yeah.
Not quite hot cakes, more like medium warm
Yeah.
cakes. Yeah.
Bronco
Rather hot.
Tuskov. Hi to all. Question. I have a hard time deciding coating on my vehicle. I'm thinking CarPro UK 3.0 with Gliss or with C Quartz Light, or should I just go all in all CarPro SIC? But I know it's hard to apply. So I haven't had any experience with CarPro SIC coating. CarPro UK 3.0 with Gliss is nice. CarPro UK with C Quartz Light is nice. But I have never had any experience with CarPro SIC. And I know most SICs are not that hard to install. So who knows?
Yeah.
So
And on that note, we have a brief break coming up. Don't worry, it's actually a short one this time.
Yeah.
We'll be right back after this very important message.
Last week, the Heap Car Challenge displayed some horrific modifications. This Sunday, the boys will be on a time crunch to improve their builds.
I'm going to take these bastards out into the wash bay.
grab a little bit of the spray paint that I saw sitting over in the corner and, touch up my brake drums, touch up the brake calipers.
I consider myself a pretty good spray painter, probably one of the best spray painters this side of the Mississippi, so I knew I could tackle the job.
The absolute most critical, most important part of anything on the car was getting that paint fix, because that is what was going to cost me when it came time to sell it to somebody else.
Will Dane have time to fix his wrecked wheels?
It's the most work ever for little to no benefit. So I'm really excited about it. Thanks for asking.
Amongst us three, we had to do some painting of our own. Some had to do more than others, and some had to do far, far more than others.
And will the cars be ready in time for the next twist?
Let's see what the public has to say on the appearance of your vehicles.
Oh, what are we like having the internet vote on this or something?
Find out this week on the Rag Company's Heap Car Challenge. A brand new episode coming August 29th.
Hey
Wow.
guys, and we're back. Some of us faster than others, but you know what? Normally we play a little longer commercial break, so I get it. That's just the way it goes. But I hope you're excited for the next installment of the Cheap Car Challenge, Heap Car Challenge, whatever you want to call it. I think it's really fun. And based on the comments we've been seeing, other people are really liking it too.
Oh, yeah.
So you said even your daughter watched it.
Yeah, she did. It was so funny. My daughter came home the other day, and I didn't even know she knew about the challenge, other than we briefly talked about it during the car show. But she came home the other day and was eating dinner, and she goes, "So I started watching the Heap Car Challenge during math class today." I
guess one was more interesting than the other.
Yeah, it was so funny. I was like, "You did?" And she was like, "Yeah. I got like halfway through the first episode. How many is there?" And so then I told her, "Well, a new episode comes out every Sunday," and she was Like she was wishing it was like Netflix, where she could watch the whole season in one shot.
That's the hard part is like getting them all put together.
Yeah,
Tim's doing the best he can with the time we have, but
but I did think it was funny, and I was like, well, you should have been in math class, but I thought it was, she's a car girl after me, and I thought it was funny how she was like, I was watching it during math class. Like that was like the second day.
That's
of school.
fun.
So
Well, it's a learning experience for everybody. By the way,
awesome.
our stuff is all shifted, so why don't we, Anthony, you come over this way.
Which way do we
One
go?
more.
There we
There we
go.
go. All right, we're all on screen. So, welcome back, Levi.
Jeez, that was a short break. I
Yeah,
had to
right?
run and then go to the bathroom and run back.
Sprinted.
I did. I'm out of breath.
And on
But I
that
did
note,
grab myself a delicious Diet Pepsi from the Pepsi fridge on my way
I
back.
took
Nice.
banana bread and just
you just
Shoved the whole
bombed it.
thing, yeah.
I can't believe you did that. You're not going to be able to talk for a while. So,
I've got Hans here.
also learned a new trick from Anthony from an old Wash Wednesday. Whack and attack method for drying made me giggle like a girl.
Oh,
To
love
check
the
that
whack
out.
attack.
I
For
think
the
I've
roof.
used that
Yeah.
before. Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's how I used to do it
Yeah.
back in the day. You just
Yep.
helicopter that towel
Oh,
across
yeah.
the roof of the car.
Totally.
Back in the day,
Yep.
we used chamois. So,
Ron here.
Ron Iotti, I mix Brake Buster and Iron Buster for cleaning wheels.
Same.
It's awesome.
Same.
That's
Yeah.
a good time.
I
right
do that
there.
too, and I love it. And it's funny because I actually had to call Dave about that today, and he doesn't like when we mix his products.
Yeah, he
but
made
I
them to
called him
work.
today and I said, "Can I do it like in public?"
Officially.
Because I do it. It's awesome in the IK foamer. I'll just say that I mix it in the IK Pro 12 foamer, and it's
Ratio?
awesome. I kind of eyeball it, but I
Okay.
do the 5 to 7 to 1 for the Brake Buster because that one has to be kind of specific. And then I usually add in I don't know, a cup
Okay. So it's
Yeah.
not
of
a
the
half
Iron
and
Buster.
half.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely not half
okay.
and half. Basically, I'm just using the Iron Buster to kick up the Brake Buster. So
Gotcha.
Brake Buster's awesome for maintaining, but if I have pretty dirty wheels that I don't feel like I need to layer them independently, I mean, there's definitely steel wheels that you want to put Iron Buster on full
Yeah.
strength and let it do its thing. But using them together, and even in the layering, or if you mix them in a IK, they're either way awesome.
Nice.
Yep.
Hans, send that Sydney bottle over and I'll put it all next to my other TRC goodies and protect it with my life.
Aw,
you would.
that's nice. I'll try to get you a bottle.
Yeah. G. Davis says Hans wants to be on the cover of Undressed.
I don't know. I don't
yeah.
think that'll work.
We're
Big
taking
seller.
applications for that. Yeah.
G says
Yeah.
no more. G, no more space than you took it all. You took it already. Took it
Oh,
all
man.
already. There you go. Alkaline says driving my friend's Challenger 6.4 TA
Yeah.
has always been a joy. Love those motors. That's
Yeah.
Chris's. Chris has one of those.
Yeah.
So,
Pretty awesome.
Oh.
can I be
Wow.
on the cover on Undressed? We could call it Forbidden Chocolate. Thank you.
Always.
Joe.
Oh, that would have
with
been such a good
That's a
idea. I
great
feel like we
idea.
missed the boat on the cover. We
shoot.
just did a tire.
My
Dang.
God,
Dang.
Joe.
Missed opportunity.
Oh, I'm so glad to have liquid in my mouth.
Despacho.
Oh, Dane, when are you getting that big body VIP build?
It's tempting. I always like the VIP style. I love a Toyota Century when you get more modern ones. When those become legal in the US, who knows? M. Garcia.
What kind of chemicals would you guys recommend to wipe down toolboxes to give it a good, clean, nice shine? Bead maker?
Oh, I use Bead Maker all the time. My toolboxes.
And so we know I run a detail shop. And so I think my toolboxes probably get a little bit dirtier than everybody else's. And so I actually use Epic.
Yeah.
Which we were
Yeah.
talking
Yeah,
about
that's a good
earlier. So
idea.
the waterless wash, I actually use Epic because mine gets splattered with brake dust from the pressure washer, which has
Yeah.
Iron Buster usually in it, and then compounds, polishes, clarity cream. Mine always has so much stuff on it. So I use Epic, just a waterless wash.
Okay.
Alex says, I get all of PNS's secrets when Rennie comes and saves me during his infamous search and rescue
Yeah.
missions.
Gotcha.
You
There you
head out
go.
the
That's a good.
mountains alone.
That's another way
Yeah.
to distribute information. you know?
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Must be,
It's under the
leaving it
guise
on
of search
trees.
and
He must just
rescue.
be writing it on trees, like Beat
Maybe.
Maker 2.0 or
Maybe.
something.
Or
I'm
while
gonna have to
he's,
ask him
like,
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Helicopter
Or
rescues.
smoke signals,
He's
like
coming down.
something's
He's
going
he's
on.
going. Hey, I need you to hold this for me.
Yeah.
Hold on, and then he hooks them all up, and then takes them up on the helicopter, and that's when they unroll. And they're like, Beatmaker 2.0.
You know, this is honestly making me wonder because he's on the other side of the table.
Oh.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
having flashbacks
So
of the
it
movie
makes
The
me
Hunted with
wonder if he's
Benicio del
throwing up
Toro.
signals
Yeah.
to get people
Right?
to talk
Dang,
about
that's
it.
a specific movie.
It's very specific. But if you've seen it, you know. All right.
Jeff C.
Jeff.
with the real dirt. Matt said something in his podcast last week about Beadmaker 2.0. Not to be confused with that other unnamed product, I assume. Yes,
Wow.
not to be confused. Mr. Sarcasm, there is a test.
For being a detailer. So that was actually a real question.
Yeah, there are.
not a
Oh, yeah,
sarcastic
no,
question.
there is a test. There's Sydney. You can see on her sleeve right there. She's got other
I was
sleeve. There you
doing
go.
one.
She's got the
Here
IDA
we go.
certified detailer and skills validated. Anthony, are you a CDSB as well?
I am. I don't have my patch on me, but I did have it tattooed on me last week. I'm kidding.
It's just like,
So,
I'd blow everybody
IDA,
away.
International Detailing Association, you can go to the-ida.com. You can take the CD exam on the website. You can pay for it, become a member, pay for it, get a discount. Then you can do an SV in person with one of the many RTs, such as myself, around the country. So
Registered trainer.
get certified, get validated. Ricky Colon, hello folks from hot, muggy, dusty Puerto Rico. Hope you guys are doing okay. What's this sand, Saharan sand in Puerto Rico?
yeah, what?
It's weird.
going
Sand
on?
from the desert made it all the way across the ocean.
We just got
No,
smoke.
it did not.
No way, it get
Did
wet.
It really?
It's gonna be wet sand. Right?
Wet
It's gotta
sand in
go
the ocean right
across
now,
the
guys.
ocean in the wind. It's gonna fall in the water. So it's not even gonna make it to Puerto Rico.
So they're basically saying a camel basically, showed up on shore.
No, they just
That's
said the
a
sand.
different kind of
Sand.
problem. Okay.
Oh, just the sand,
Poets.
not the camels themselves as well.
Yeah,
I,
I think it's just
Noah's
are you
Ark
sure?
situation.
Are you sure, Ricky? It's not just dirt from the parking lot. Pretty sure it's just dirt from the parking lot around
Well,
the corner.
either way.
Poets Flamel, paint enhancement equals an AOI, and paint correction equals multiple steps. Yeah, sure. Or a one step, or two step. It's not really paint correction.
Along those
Everyone
lines.
agree? Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Stephen.
Besides O&R, works for most anything. What are your best detail minimalism tips and tricks?
I mean,
O&R,
basically
really.
narrowing.
Steam is great.
Steam
with
Steam
O&R.
With O&R.
With O&R is
Yeah.
great.
The other one I couldn't give up is air. I use a lot of
Air.
air.
I use a lot
I
of
use
air
a lot
too.
of air.
Yeah.
Compressed air is
Yep.
your friend.
That
Yeah.
really is it.
Yeah, steam and compressed air.
I
you
mean,
can
there's other
basically-
things. It's
Yeah.
just, but O&R is a very universal.
Yeah.
But for like 75% of detailing, that pretty much covers you
Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
pinch.
Yeah.
That and I use bead maker on a lot of. I mean, I use bead
Yeah.
maker on the interior, on glass, on the paint, on
Yeah.
trim. So I mean, I guess my second most used product, if we're talking products, is bead maker.
Well, it's
Yeah.
because it's versatile at being able to
Yeah.
latch on to different surfaces
Yeah.
that other products have a much harder time doing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I can see why that would be used that way. We got
Snacks.
gloss enhancement.
Snacks a purr. Snacks.
I got snacks.
One. Got snacks. I got snacks. Says gloss enhancement.
Yes.
Zup from
Foreigner
Sweden.
says Zup from
Foreigner.
Sweden. Sup, dude.
We always, there's so many different
Zup.
variations of your
Zup,
spelling in your name.
Okay.
I know it's quite interesting.
Peter
yeah, I guess a
Sydney.
few people. Have
What's
gotten
up,
it right.
TRC crew? Good to see Cindy on the show.
Peter,
it's
it's
Sydney, but
It's fine.
okay.
it's
now.
fine.
It's all
That's
good.
fine.
Ricky Colon, I still remember when the Integras had the VTEC crossover at 5,500 to 5,600 RPM,
Yep.
and then it was brought down to 4,400 RPM or something like that.
Little
Well,
less
you could
winding it out
adjust,
later.
so there's just, you could tune it to where your VTEC kicks in like super low. So I knew a kid in high school that he had his VTEC like kicking in. It was like something crazy. He put like 3,800 or something like that.
Oh,
so
geez,
basically
that's, like,
it was
right
always
away.
crossing over. Just normal driving, it would just be a crossover.
Got like 18 miles to gallon.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
not good. Like, back in the day, you used to be able to do different types of adjustments and things like that. But you still can. But yeah, 5,500 is like really is the sweet spot. Honda kind of nailed it in terms of where it needs to be.
Yeah, 15 miles per gallon when you're making like 140 horsepower is really worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luca, Dreammaker, up. The must be, sure.
Oh, wow.
Ryan
wow.
G. When I use a creature to remove graphene coating when applying, can I use a creature?
Yes.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Peter, love that V6 VTEC Honda engine. Silky smooth with good enough power.
The J Series is a really good engine. They're all really good.
Oh my
no.
God.
Wow.
You can't put that on there.
Was that polydactyl?
Oh,
is that
I love
what
it.
that
I
is?
love
Yeah,
it.
it's
That is
okay.
so great.
Yeah.
I don't know what G's referencing.
That's so
Goodness.
funny. Carissa,
That's
just
funny.
saying hi to my favorite detail people. Hello,
Thanks,
Carissa. I
Carissa.
hope you're having a good one. Josh Brodo, I have tint tools. Let's do this.
Let's.
Did you get my tint tools, Josh?
Oh, wait a second. You might have
I
him.
got a box of t-shirts for him today.
He got the
Because
package.
Thing is you and Josh, right, started up TRC Tint School.
Just killing it. Bringing
Right.
bringing all the milkshakes to the yard.
Yeah.
That's not
gonna
how
be
that
good.
goes.
Because
But
you're like, we're going to make so much money. I was like, I don't
You can make
know.
up to $300 a week. I don't know if you knew that.
According to Online Tint
School?
School.
Online tints. Well,
Wow.
$3,000, I think they said.
Mm.
Which is for part-time work.
Yeah.
Think about it, Anthony.
I've thought about it. It's not for me.
Christopher
Kristen
Musica.
says, love the channel, all the amazing info you guys give, and tips and tricks. Any tips and tricks for reducing paint texture on newer soft Honda paint without wet sanding?
Anthony.
Leave it.
Not without wind.
Leave,
no,
leave
just
it.
leave
Enjoy it. Enjoy the texture. That
Don't
Honda
touch it.
paint will not last
Now-
forever.
Don't
Okay.
touch
So
it.
don't
So
touch
don't
it.
touch it.
Yeah.
A lot
don't
of
touch it.
people have already heard this. If you're in detailing circles, you already understand it. But for those who don't know, texture is often there to help hide
Yeah.
certain imperfections that will be revealed the second you flatten them out.
Yeah.
There's a reason you don't have perfectly flat
Or
paint
there's
on the
not
car.
enough clear on the surface, and
Also
you're going to
that.
burn through your
Yeah.
UV coat, which is
Yeah.
going to cause your clear to fail faster.
Right.
So sometimes making it
just leave
better makes it look worse.
Well, because basically there's like 4 keywords in this right here, right?
Yeah.
I see Honda. I see reducing, wet sanding,
Yeah.
paint texture.
Yeah.
And I'm like, those shouldn't all be in the same
of those.
sentence, right?
No.
If you eliminate the word Honda out of
So
it,
here's what you're going
When
to
you
do,
sneeze on it,
Christopher.
the
Christopher,
texture
here's
goes
what you're going to
away.
do. Here's what you're going to do. If you want to do this, take your car in, take it to the body shop, say, I need you guys to put about 4 more coats of clear on top of this car. They're going to go, dude, it's brand new. Why are we going to do that? Just do it because I want to sand it. See what they say.
Yeah.
Modern
do it that
cars
way.
have less clear on them than
Yeah.
they used to, too.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that's,
Tell them to
yeah.
put a couple more coats of clear on there
Yeah.
for you.
reflow the clear.
They will look at you like
Krista
you're an
says, yes,
if you
Iron
do
Buster
that.
is
Don't do
great. I switched from Iron X. And then we have
Nice.
Ken Jeeper says, OMG, I was just asking myself the same question concerning the bugs on a shiny car.
I think it's just bug season, man.
Yeah.
Paul Foreman, hey guys, I'm getting a new to me van on Saturday. Gonna take it home, give it a good clean. I use BeadMake all the time. What's your guys' opinion on BeadMaker God mode using an IK multi? I love it. That's how I do it at home.
Yep.
It
Good
is,
way to do it.
it is
Smells
pretty
great.
much how to do it.
Mhm.
I find myself still using trigger sprayers with BeadMaker, which is fine.
I just can't. I have
But
to put it
it's
in
just the
IK 'cause
second I
can't
pull up the God
pull.
mode on that thing, bam!
I burn
start
through a
laying
lot
that
more
thing down.
BeadMaker, I'll tell you that
But
much.
which
Yeah.
is good because I have a lot of BeadMaker I need to burn through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
Although aerating it does cause the reaction to be quicker, too.
It just smells good too.
All right, Hansi.
Bird poop on a polished car is because they think they fly above water, so they save it till they drop bombs. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
One of my favorite, one of my favorite Onion stories. So for those of you, I don't know if you guys know this, but for those of you overseas, The Onion is a satire news page that
Yep.
makes fun of different newses, and one of them was seagull with diarrhea
Oh.
barely makes it to Crowded Beach.
That's pretty funny.
It's like local seagull with
Oh,
diarrhea.
that's really funny.
Oh, when they get
Barely
the
makes
quotes
it.
from like local townspeople
Yeah.
and stuff. Oh, that's so
Yeah.
funny.
That's
So-
really funny.
Like it was his
Oh, wait.
bathroom. so-
Hans had another.
Send me the ingredients, then I'll make some PNS in my shed. I don't know if that's a good idea.
I don't know if they'll let you do that, but
Right.
J. Davis.
What has a stronger scent? Iron X or Dane's massage chair after a
Oh,
4-day solo
wow.
weekend?
4 days solo weekend. I don't know.
Smells of rich mahogany and leather-bound
Oh
books.
man.
That's funny.
Ricky Cologne says, talking about Motorplast, I tried it for the first time on the BMW fender liner and OMG, awesome result.
It's good stuff.
heck yeah.
Elastomeric Bond.
right.
G. Davis, you made me choke on my mojito.
I'm jealous that you even have one right now.
Oh, yes. My old supplier only knew the label. A few people that sell a brand, they're just like that. So this man is dead, so I can talk about him.
What?
Basically,
Wow.
I had this truck guy
Yeah.
who sold Pro, Car Beauty Pro. He also sold Meguiar's, and he
okay.
sold Eagle One.
Okay.
His name was Elbert.
Oh. You're sure he's
Okay.
dead?
Yes. So
I'm just
he had a
at the edge of my seat here.
so he had a truck with a trailer, and inside this fifth wheel trailer was a full, like Tom's truck used to be, like full detail shop inside the trailer. So you could pick out everything you needed and all that stuff. But he was the one guy, I had him and Tom Smith as my two distributors of detail products that would come by my shop. Tom, who owns Buff Bright and the For Real and all that, he actually knew what he was doing because he was a detailer for a number of years. So he could help me work through a problem. Albert, I would say, hey, this stuff, it's not working the way I want. And he'd go, let's see. Did you try burnishing it to a high gloss finish? And I said, yes. And he
Right in
goes,
front of you.
Step 2, did you put it on the pad before
I never
in 4
thought of
drops?
that.
And I said, yes. And he goes, huh. Would you like another bottle? I say, nope, I'm okay. I'll just continue to use this. I'm having this issue. It's spotting and it's not sticking right and it's doing this. And he's like, huh. Yeah, I don't see anything on here that says it would do that.
I
was
know.
his
That's
guy.
why I'm asking.
That
you.
was that. So yes, Hans has listened very, very well to some of my stories. But that was the hard part. Was he didn't know. He wasn't a detailer. He didn't know how to help sell the product. Tom, I go, have you tried this? Tom's like, no, but I'm going to try and recreate exactly what you're doing. Tell me what to make, the model, the paint, all that stuff. I'm going to see what I can do. So Tom really did help me out a lot. Where Albert Albert was a product. He's selling it to you. Buy this.
Yeah.
It's this much money. I don't know anything about it, but buy it. It's good. So
Door-to-door vacuum salesman.
yeah, so that's what Hans means. Yeah, so I'm sorry, Hans, that you have a few people that sell a brand just like that.
Well,
Alfredo
says, what's the biggest change improvements of bee maker? We don't. None.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You're talking about it like it exists.
We are one of the largest distributors of PNS products in the world.
Yeah. So honestly, this is really giving me a complex because I feel like if there was a Bee
didn't
Maker
tell
2.0,
you.
I feel like I should know about it.
Yeah. Lloyd G says, hi guys, detailing a 2020 911 Turbo S convertible this weekend. Think about using Express Interior and brush the top. Your thoughts? Also, I'd love to see how you guys are. I'd love to guys see you doing a how-to in this topic.
We talked about this.
Yeah. So
It's on our list.
Yeah, it's on our list. We still have to do a convertible top video. You could use Express. I don't think that's going to hurt anything, but I think that
Honestly,
it's a new. It's a
look
it's
at the
new though.
It is new,
It's
but
You'd probably be fine with just.
you should be able to
washing
just
it.
wash it. Soap and water, you should be able to be fine. I will say though, pick up the Ragtop kit, RAGGTOPP, on our website. Ragtop's protectant is a protectant that you do need to put on that top every 6 months.
Yeah.
It will keep your hydrophobic properties there. You could also coat it with like Inspirations
The fabric
fabric coating. You could coat it that way. It'll last a little longer. But Ragtop, one of the great things about it is Ragtop is what they actually use from the factory.
Like OEM. Type.
OEM on all convertible tops. Any and all convertible tops come out of one manufacturer called Hartz, Haartz. They supply all the fabric and vinyl and stuff to all the automobiles for convertible tops. And the protectant they put on it that goes to put on your factory 911 Turbo, there they are, is Ragtop. So pick it up.
There you go. All right.
Okay, moving on.
Josh from across the street says, Sydney, can you explain if or how a product can move from the professional line to the double black line?
Yes, I can. So there's been several professional line products that have moved into the double black line. So
Breakbuster was one.
Breakbuster was originally in the professional line. It's been around forever. Same with Express Interior. And then other ones that have recently moved in is like Clarity Cream. But then there's
Well, there's TrueView. TrueView was
so TrueView was in the professional line. Then we moved it into the Chemtrol line because it is a product that needs to be diluted. So it made sense to go straight into the Chemtrol line. Then we moved it partially in the ready-to-use form into the double black line because in a ready-to-use form, that's what made the most sense in double black.
And double black is mostly ready to use.
Yes. So double black was kind of developed for not only detailers, but also the home enthusiast. And so it needed to be kind of simple, ready to go, ready to use, and easy to use. So there's a couple of the Pro line products that you don't necessarily want somebody to just pick up off a shelf and use it. So some of those will stay in the Pro line. And there are also ones that maybe do require heavy dilution or many different dilutions depending on what you're using it for. And so, and now we're kind of trying to bring some light to the Pro line. There's some really, really good products in the Pro line that have been hiding in the basement, as I call it. And so we're kind of trying to bring those up, but we are keeping a lot in the Pro line. And I think the reason is P&S has like 4 or 5 different dressings, maybe more, but 4 or 5 that we kind of focus on. And if you threw all of those into the double black line, it doesn't really make sense.
Sparks too much confusion.
We also have different levels of distributors. And so we have our storefronts, and our storefronts primarily carry the double black line. And then we have full-fledged distributors, which tend to carry more of the Pro line and the double black. So really that's kind of it. Like the double black was meant to be ready to use. And so obviously not everything will be moved into that. And that's why that is one of our attempts this year, is to bring more awareness to the Pro line and things like that. So yeah.
Cool.
Oh,
And
great.
you guys, I have to go to my daughter's first volleyball
No
team.
worries.
So
Have
I'm
fun.
gonna
All
jet out.
right.
But
All right.
thank you, everybody. And you guys have a great rest of your
Thanks,
Q&A.
Sid,
I'm
for
gonna try to
coming.
slip
We
out
appreciate
and
it.
Not look
course.
crazy when I get all this stuff off of me, but you guys have
A lot
fun.
of wires.
Yeah.
Ricky
thanks for being on the
Cologne
show.
says,
Sid.
see ya. Says, Anthony, I guess you can also offer the blue bead maker in very limited numbers, a la McRib.
Delicious. Build up the anticipation.
I see.
Nice. And then Ryan asked the same question again. Would you recommend a
that
towel
past you?
for removing ceramic graphene or something that? Yeah, you can. You can totally use a creature for that. You can use a creature for that. You can use a 365. Any of those things. So, Dan Smith says he was eating Fritos while using Bead Maker today. Should I sleep in the bathroom tonight? No, you should be fine. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. G. Davis gives
Just
a wink and a
laughing.
laugh to Ricky. The great Paul Allen.
Paul's back.
Welcome, Paul. I am back. Do you have advice on to avoid drying car shampoo while washing? I have to wash at a wash park. In my area, it is forbidden to wash at home. Sometimes I can't avoid the sun, thanks. Paul, try and do half the car. Wash it, rinse it, or wash it, soap it, rinse it, dry it. Then do the other side, wash it, rinse it, dry it. Then give the whole car a final rinse, and then grab your towel and run around and dry it as best you can. You're going to have to chase the sun. You may have to go fast. It's kind of how it goes. So,
All right. Back to, whoop, we jumped.
Hans,
There
the
we
MOS got fired? What?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah. Jedi says,
Oh my God.
hey guys, big fan of the show.
no.
Great
Thank you.
success.
Thank
Probably
you,
just
Jedi.
Nate in the other building.
Yeah.
He has that as a mouse pad.
That's Nate's mouse pad next
Yeah.
to Nate's mouse pad.
Oh man, I
Prison
love
Mike.
that.
Prison
I love
Mike.
Prison
that
Mike.
name.
Aussie Bear.
Aussie Bear coating 3 sets of wheels this weekend. I got Soul, Legend, CSL, and Exo on hand. What's my product of choice? Legend for wheels. Do them. Robert Emma Trudeau. Hello from Connecticut. My question is, does any of the PS product have shelf life? Thank you. Most products always have a shelf life, but as long as you're in a temperate environment with them, you're keeping them indoors, you're not exceeding crazy high temperatures, you're not letting them freeze, you shouldn't have any issues as long as you keep the product sealed or closed. So
That's
spray
the big
bottles, you keep them, make sure the lids are tight and the triggers are turned off, because sometimes they have a tendency to push liquid through the sprayer and they can leak. Basically keep them on, turn them off, keep your polishes and compounds. If they've got a pop top, keep those shut. Your soaps, if they've got a pop top. Key is to stop the oxidization process of oxygen into the chemicals. But if you do that and you keep them nice, you
Keep
shouldn't
them around
have.
room temp too, if possible.
Yeah, that's the temperate. You should be fine. That bottle of Iron Brew back there is not actually Iron Brew because we drank it all. It's Bead Maker.
It's Bead Maker in that bottle.
So, and we've kept it back there for over a year and it's been sealed and it's fine. So,
Still looks like Bead Maker.
yep. But so a gallon of Bead Maker will last you for a very long time because especially with the top sealed on it, should be fine.
This
Yeah.
has been sitting for.
It looks
Yeah, well,
just
Since the
like
first
it
of the
should.
year, 6-7 months.
You got to crack it open, get a whiff. Oh, here goes Anthony. I will say Iron Brew has so much sugar in it that
Still
cap
smells like
really
Bead
sticks
Maker.
on.
Nice.
It looks like it.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's our Bead Maker 2.0. The Bead Maker we put in an Iron Brew bottle
Ooh, and let it ferment.
and let it ferment.
Do not drink that.
So,
Okay, bullets.
but yeah, the biggest thing is the cap. Like I left a cap off of a bottle of Dynamic and they started to separate. I put a little distilled water in there, put a cap back on, shook the jug up. I was good to go again. So It depends on just make sure lids are on, caps are tight, everything's good. Alkaline or Poets Flamel, is diluting brake buster a waste of product? I don't see any reason so far to go lower than 1.5. You can do 1.10 or 1 to 10. Yeah. It's honestly, it's not a waste of product. If your wheels are clean and every week you're using them and the wheels are coated, you should be doing 10 to 1 on wheels. You shouldn't be going straight because you're just damaging the coating that you have on there, because you're adding such a harsh chemical. Plus, there's no need. Half the time, all that stuff comes off with some light water and light agitation, even soap. So dilute it. Save yourself some money. Save yourself some product, and do it that way.
Alkaline Trio says, I have plastic trim that was coated 20 months ago, CSL EXO. How would I go about preparing it for Legend, or should I not worry about updating it now? You don't.
You'll be fine, dude.
Just go over it. Detailing Vibes 2006.
Nice.
What were the vibes like in 2006?
I like it.
What were the detailing vibes like in 2006?
A lot
Levi?
less internet heavy, I know.
No, hardly any internet heavy talk.
I know, but what were you doing in 2006 detailing?
I was detailing Boise's Best Auto Detail. We had just moved into from a big shop to a small shop in Garden City. Mm-hmm. So my wife would pick me up sometimes.
Ooh.
From work, because she would get out, we would carpool.
Yeah.
So she would pick me up from work, and we would watch a guy kind of walk down the street with a 12-pack of beer in Garden City, just very excited and happy to go.
Garden City,
but
I know.
It was normal. It was the same detailing I had done in 2004, same detailing I was doing in 2010.
The vibes
Nothing really changed. Not a lot of new products coming out. Not a lot of growth in the market. So, yeah.
Best leather care product, we're just going to say
Color Lock.
Color Lock, man. That's it. It's the stuff.
There's no doubting it. It's great.
Saharan dust hits the Gulf states every year. It's actually a thing.
I don't think so, because it goes over water and it gets wet, and then it's just wet sand.
So it's just wet sand coming at your car.
No,
this is Ron Burgundy going,
Can't make it to there. How does it fly in the air?
Oh, boy.
It flies through the air, probably because all the ravens transferring it all
If it can
over.
rain
that
fish,
actually makes sense.
Saharan
I think you're
dust
right.
can make
I
its
think
way
it could
across
be
the
a lot of
ocean. I'm
ravens
just
holding
saying.
handfuls of sand. Pocket sand.
Yeah. My eyes.
No, I know, Dan. David Cervantes, what's up, guys? I'm back now that I'm not working. So since we're in the fun half, how are your lives going? We're good, man. How are you? I hope you're doing well. We're getting ready. We did a little pay and spray on the back of the truck.
Oh,
Got a little spraying on the back. Anthony Watch said pretty much the best paint job he's ever seen on my tailgate.
Is that what you think?
No, I didn't say
Said
that
it
at
was
all.
quite possibly one of the best, and he has fully relinquished his crown as best rattle canner here.
I cannot wait
at
to see how
TRC.
it turns out.
It's been mounted on the back of my truck all day. I'm
Okay, well,
surprised I
here's the
walked out
thing.
there
Well,
to
I'll
look
tell
at
you
it.
right
It's been
now.
down every time I walk past it, so I haven't seen
No,
it.
it's up. It's up.
Amongst us, Dane is the worst rattle canner.
Yes.
Levi's
I will
the
not fight you
Levi's
on
the
that.
second
I'm
best.
number one.
And then, I'm number one.
And I'm number one.
Yeah.
I always seem to find a
So-
way to add more texture than you think even bad paint would manage to do, but I find a way.
No, but thank you, David. I hope you're doing well, man. Hope everything's going good for you. Graham Marshall, we get Sahara sand here in the UK. It makes a real mess on paintwork. Yeah, feels good to live in Idaho. What we got was sticky rain last
not
week.
really
It was
something we
Well,
gross.
to
I mean,
here.
while we may not have Saharan sand, I mean, we do have velociraptors, and we do have pterodactyls that'll pick up children and take them away. There's just a lot of unknown here, so don't come here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Boise.
don't move to Boise,
Hashtag
Idaho.
Yeah.
not worth it.
Shootings, stabbings.
As a native
crime
resident of
all time
Boise,
low.
Idaho, for over 125 years,
No, you're not 100.
I'm gonna say don't come here.
Yeah, no, the things we would tell
For
you
the
about
Gates
it,
family only.
they get us demonetized so fast.
Yeah,
So-
so that's why it's like, so deal with the Saharan sand because it's really not that bad compared to
definitely.
what it's like
Yeah,
here.
Mike.
Subpar. here.
Super chat 279 Canadian.
Hey!
Yeah, thank you, man.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
That was very nice.
He says, "I love the cheap car challenge series. Keep it up. Thank you,
Hey,
thank you,
we
man.
love
We
that
appreciate it.
guys
We're
love
glad you like
and
it."
it's fun.
Ed, I've been thinking of getting a cheap pancake air compressor from Harbor Freight. Would you guys say 3 gallons is enough for detailing? Thanks. No. You're gonna burn out that air so fast. Ed, do yourself a favor. Try and get a 5.
At least 4.5 to 5.
Or get a fast flow. You know, like Anthony and I have those little those are 3 gallons, but they're single tubes, right? And those things fill so fast
Yeah.
and they're quiet because that pancake's going to rattle. Remember your little 3 gallon pancake?
I will never own another pancake compressor again. Dude, it was, like PTSD sound.
Yeah.
Like whenever I turn that thing on, I knew that it raises my anxiety through the roof because it's just of how loud it is. And I'm like, man, it's so loud. And it makes me feel like I have to rush because my neighbors are going to be like, what the heck's he doing? That silent flow, best money you could spend.
Yeah,
Next to the CR Spotless.
Husky,
maybe.
Silent Flow. If you got a little more money to spend, Ed, I would take a look at California Air Tools.
Yeah.
Pick up one of theirs, or go to Home Depot and pick up the Husky Silent Flow air compressor system. It's great. Anthony and I both have it. It's awesome. David Cervantes is also in regards to the previous Wash Wednesday. I loved the video's humor. However, I do perform more of a truck during Wash Wednesday.
That's okay. I mean, granted, when it comes to Wash Wednesday, there's more cars than trucks, but we do try to have some trucks on there too. Especially, go back and watch some of the older episodes. There's some great truck episodes there. You should definitely check
and
out.
you guys aren't washing these things. When they're like, hey, we got a pretty big size vehicle, I'm like, oh, awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. Sometimes.
Yeah, you like the sports cars for more than just the fact that they're sports cars. You like it because they're not big subjects.
Well, it's just sometimes these things get pretty big or, I don't know. And it's just more fun watching something that I'm into.
No, I hear you.
Any PNS product better than bead maker and gloss level? Stay tuned.
Yeah, they're fishing, aren't they?
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Next page, Dane. Page 1, please.
Page 1, here we come.
Damon, Q&A is always better with Sydney. Oh, thanks.
I mean, she just left. But yes, when you wrote
We'll let her
that,
know.
she was here. We'll let her know.
Yeah. G. Davis says, Cindy, would you please talk about how you started and developed your business?
Oh, my God.
Just in time for her not to be here, which there was never Cindy here, so that's null and
I think
void to begin
Cindy
with.
has explained her story on another podcast if you want to check it out.
True.
But she also has the PNS podcast.
Yes.
M. Garcia.
Yeah, bead maker and coffee every Wednesday morning.
Don't mix them together. M. Garcia 24 says, any idea on what car will be next for restoration? Watching the STI get transformed
We have
was
been.
incredible.
Well, what I love is they're talking about that, and I've already been, Dane and I have been doing a little research, been looking at what we're going to get next, and we're pretty much heavily leaning on the 2006 Hyundai Elantra GLS.
This might surprise you.
Wow.
So we found one, silver in color, got 142,000 miles.
Pretty good deal.
The owner said he's willing to let it go for pretty cheap.
Like 12K?
Close to about that.
Yeah.
I think we were talking to him. He said if it could be on the show, he's willing to let it go for about $2,500.
Come with suspension upgrades?
It's already got H&R springs on it.
Wow. It's pretty good.
So we could probably save the springs when we do the next coilover changeover.
yeah.
So we will talk to our friends over there at
blown.
Fortunato,
But
put
the
the
shocks
H&R
are just-
springs on.
The shocks are just
So we'll get some
roasted,
Fortunato coilovers with H&R springs because we got those already.
It's more of a Miss Fortunato in this case.
We don't need the
think,
Swifts. We'll
It
just keep the
is.
H&R because that's a brand name. The other thing we were talking about, running across the street, pulling an engine out of one of the Sonatas out there, throwing a turbo on it.
but- Oh, my.
okay.
Those motors, the 2.4s, are basically just a Mitsubishi motor.
Yeah,
So
it's basically a 4G63.
exactly. So
Wow. I
so
think
that's
I
what
can
we're
hear him
looking. Dane's
snoring
like
from
Dane
here.
is like so excited. He literally called me last night, said I can't sleep. I'm so excited about this Hyundai.
I mean,
It's gonna make the world.
So
We don't know, and Mike. That was a long-winded joke.
we've thrown some ideas around, whether it's more JDM stuff or something else. We
I
just
think I'm ready for some American muscle in my life.
Ooh,
Yeah.
What do you guys think of maybe we find like,
An S10 with a V8.
God, that would be a dream. Unlikely. Right? Maybe next week when we'll show up. Knock on wood.
no.
Oh, how
I
fun
grew up
would
a
that be?
Chevy guy, but are Fox bodies played out at this point? Yeah, maybe.
I'm
Not feeling it.
Dane,
Okay.
you already have one.
What?
You already have a Fox body Mustang.
Fox bodies are famously boxy. All
Got a
right.
supercharged
Gee.
5-liter V8 rear-wheel drive Fox body.
Sure. Oh dear.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Dane's
damn.
garage tour include his She-Ra Princess of Power vibrating
no.
futon. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Man.
Well, that is something.
Road to Detail and says, "Hi folks. Hey man.
Hi.
Graham, will Optimum Power Clean remove my last step protection?" Yes.
Most likely, yes.
It's stronger stuff.
It's strong, especially not diluted.
Back to page 1. Robert.
Yes, I keep everything at room temperature and everything closed. Thank you, guys. You're welcome, Robert. Graham says, in 2006, detailing was an unknown pastime. Yeah, it was more of a chore for many people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most people had that whole car janitor thing in their head, if they even thought about detailing at all.
Mm-hmm. Ricky says, do you want pics of that Saharan dust? Again, I'm pretty sure it's just parking lot dust.
I'm pretty sure it just looks like all the
He's
other
like,
dust.
Saharan dust. There's like a guy with a blower just leaf blowing. We could probably recreate that.
The granules are like 0.2 micro.
He says my car is brown.
Larger.
I'm sorry, Ricky, because it's been covered in it all week.
That's a smile of pain. Gee.
2006 detailing was Armor All soap, Windex, and the best chamois I could find at Target.
I will say,
credit for shopping at Target.
I will say, 2004 was when I learned about microfiber towels.
There's still a lot of people learning to this day.
That was the first time I used a microfiber towel, and I was like, these are kind of wild.
Yeah.
And Danny goes, those are called smudge rags. That's what he told me. And I said, oh, okay. So.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, look at this.
Carson!
We got Carson right here.
Hey, guys, thanks for everything today. Had a great time detailing the Subaru XT and hope to see you guys sometime in the future. Carson, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank your dad, your uncle for coming and hanging out with us. You guys were awesome. It was so much fun.
We're glad we can
had
make
a
your
blast.
birthday week.
Yeah.
That was really cool. So
happy
everybody here
birthday,
can
by
look
the way,
forward
too.
to the
Great
episode with
job
this
on
car.
the Wash Wednesday today.
Yeah,
Killed
he
it.
was a natural.
Killed it. Natural actor. Pocket Sand says, Josh Brodel. Ha!
Alex, Levi, did you fix the water leak in Ragnarok? I have no idea where that leak still came from.
It's got to rain again for you to find it.
Ricky says, but the Saharan dust clouds keep hurricanes away, so I'll take them.
Yeah, give them the choice.
Do they really?
I guess so.
Is it just a battle of the elements
maybe,
at that point?
Maybe that sand
Swirling.
dissolves the clouds.
Well,
but
or those clouds get so heavy with all the sand, they just fall into the ocean.
How far are our friends
probably-
over there in Puerto Rico? How far were they from the Bermuda Triangle?
It's not how the weather
like
works,
an hour,
guys.
maybe. I don't know.
No way.
I don't know how
Are they
far away
really?
they are.
So in Puerto Rico, if they
I
were to
think
go
Puerto
see-
Rico's near closer to Florida, south,
Okay.
east
How
of Florida.
far to the Bermuda Triangle?
Bermuda Triangle's more towards like North Carolina east.
Are
Like,
you sure?
think it's
Because I
farther up on the
wonder
map.
if the Puerto Ricans can see the eels swimming back to the Bermuda Triangle. where
No,
they
I don't
like
think they could
to-
see that. Pretty
So,
sure
for
it's
those
not
unaware,
something that can be
the,
seen.
Hurricanes are caused by differences in pressure and temperature, and it results in, well...
Yeah, Dane,
spiral
but the
nature that
sand.
The
What does the sand have to do with
dissolves
that?
the pressure.
Because along with the sand is being carried by currents, but also different
Okay,
temperatures.
so
and pressures
between
of
the
air.
electric
So the
static
sand is
energy
an
of the
incidental
eels,
part of
the
it, but
Bermuda
it's not the whole
Triangle,
thing.
and the change in temperature, that's why we get hurricanes.
That's a lot.
Now,
Okay.
when
That
eels
is-
start showing up in the damn hurricanes and start attacking people, right?
Now
Don't
we
come
really
running
know.
to me
Yeah.
saying that I was right this
And
entire
we know.
time.
Those are just the pets of Atlantis. Anyway, moving on. We got David Cervantes.
I'm doing rather well, other than the horrible amount of bugs and dust, pollen from the farmers here. It's probably Saharan dust.
Yeah.
Probably
We've
what that
been
is. And
learning so
Beadmaker.
far.
It's causing all that. G. Davis, the pay and spray is also the Thursday night special. Jaguar parked in.
Technically, my dad has a license plate now,
Honestly,
so I would be concerned.
Yeah.
The more I look at Dane's car, the more I find that it does fit in at places like Satin Dolls and the
does,
Spearmint
yeah.
right
Yeah,
now.
I look like the kind of guy who'd be parked in an alley handing out treats.
By the way, I was able to salvage the windows on my mom's F-150 from being replaced with P&S Clarity Cream. The truck spends its life in the dirt, and the windows had gotten really hazy. My mom was ecstatic. That's awesome,
Wow.
dude. Sydney actually, that was one of the products she helped push towards specifically. That was kind of her her thing.
Passionate about
to
the
get it to
windows.
Clarity Cream, because she found that they had this product in their professional line, but it was like FG 742
Stuck in the
glass.
basement, as she said.
And she found it and was like, has anybody ever used this? It's really good at cleaning glass. And they were like, no. And she goes, can we fix it up and make it better? Name it something? And they were like, oh,
Maybe
I
actually
guess so.
brand it in a way people will be attracted to it.
Yeah. So, and they did, and it's worked great.
Le creme. Frank L says, hey, fellas, a shop scratcher windshield when installing windshield tint. What is the appropriate recourse in your opinion? Refund, fix, refund, plus refund?
How big is the scratch?
Yeah, when you
Is
hear
it,
scratch,
like,
it can
deep?
mean a lot of things.
And what tool did they use to scratch it? Because as you know, I'm an amateur tinter. I've never tinted a window other than my house windows.
Well,
And I'm wondering, did they use what did they scratch the window with?
well, you say as a tinter, I've never scratched a window. That's
there's
As a
ways
tinter,
I've
I've
seen
never scratched
windows
it.
can scratch. I would say
I want to know what kind of scratch. How
I don't
deep
know.
is it?
I
Something
mean,
that
I
can
would-
wipe off, use a little clarity cream, get it out?
wait out.
Or is it the tint that's scratched?
I don't know. But give us a little bit more
So if
information.
the tint is scratched, then just replace the
along
tint.
the whole bottom, yes, yes can finger.
As
he's
in
got
he
a
can
chunk.
catch it with a
got
fingernail.
a chunk
Yeah.
taken out of it.
It's a
a
little divot,
chunk.
a little.
If he can catch his nail in it in the
Oh,
glass,
yeah.
is what he's saying.
But it's along
Is
the
it
bottom. Is it in the line
Tint
of
or
sight?
glass? Tint or glass? So
Oh, right. Yeah. Is it affecting the tint or is it affecting the glass? I
David
find it hard to believe
says,
the glass would
as
be
we
harmed
learn
by
more, can we possibly see Levi's dad in a Wash Wednesday? Also, Anthony asked Dane for help during a Wash Wednesday.
that.
that's a good
I
idea.
will try to get Dane into something.
Wait till you watch my garage episode.
Alkaline Trio. Dan says,
Yeah, David, we could call my dad.
As someone who visited Boise and couldn't get pizza because the police shut down the business, Anthony has a point. Dan learned first thing here how
Yep.
crazy it is. It is
Just-
scary.
Just trash. You don't want it. Sorry, bud.
Austin. Levi.
Will y'all be at SEMA this year? If so, what products will you be looking for out there? Don't know what to expect since it will be my first time. So yes, we are going to be at SEMA this year. We will be masked up and we will have hand sanitizer available. We will be there. As to product, gosh, we don't know. We always go down there looking for something. 3-4 years ago, I told Anthony I'd like a pressure sprayer
No,
if he
you
could
didn't.
find a company.
I just found
And the first thing he said was, Levi, I found a company with pressure sprayers. And I said, no way. And then he said, yep. And this is what they're called. And now we have IKs. And it was all because Anthony found it. Because I didn't once ask him to go look for one.
His passion project.
But yeah, so we, I don't know. It just depends. Color Lock, we got really along really well with them. We've always had a lot of fun with them. And that's why we brought them on. We're interesting to see. It'll be exciting. We're excited to be able to hang out with a team from hopefully Exo Shield. We like hanging out with them. We haven't seen them in a long time, so who knows? Maybe we'll be able to do more stuff with them.
As long as the show happens, we'll be going down there. So
Yeah,
that's
so-
the goal right now.
We're just hoping everybody gets down there. So
Says, any idea what happened to OPT? Seems like they don't put out any new videos or products. Do they target pros only? So OPT is kind of just hanging out. The best way to describe it is that they're focusing on what they do best. They make O&R, they make great car wax, they make great coatings, and I think that they have pretty much built their business to a point to where I think that they feel comfortable with where they are at with their dealer network and everything. I think at this point they're just managing it. I think that they're not necessarily maybe looking to grow.
It was
think
like a
they're looking
realignment to find exactly the
just
happy spot.
yeah,
kind of just manage what they've already
Yeah,
built.
exactly.
And so I think that's where they're at. But they still do exist.
they're going to be at SEMA this year.
Yeah.
Anthony and I had a great conversation with Dr. G the other day.
Yeah.
We gave him a call and talked with him and Shay and.
But everybody's still there, and
yeah.
I think they are continuing to make improvements to products. I don't think they're marketing them at all, but I think that there are some products out there with new formulas that are still...
Yeah, the products have
Some of the
always
best.
been solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we still carry Optimum, by the way. If you ever need gloss coat, pick it up. If you ever need O&R, obviously you know where to find it. Optimum Car Wax, we got you.
Yeah.
Opti Seal, we got you. And we have a
Gloss
couple
coat
others
you can
as
get from
well.
us?
Gloss coat, yeah.
David Cervantes, another question. Do you guys deal with much rust over there? Honestly, after about a year, all of our vehicles are basically doomed unless you paid for an undercoating service. Yeah, we're what's called a high desert.
As I say, we
don't deal with any rust.
Well, the
We
guys
get
from
some
Illinois.
light rust. We get some tiny, if your car had a weird spot that water trickled into
It would
it,
have to
it
be.
could start to rust. Like Nick had that element and there was like water seeped in under a spot and caused a little bit of rust, a pocket of rust. We get that, but it's very, very minimal. Like I have, like my Elantra, is 16 years old, there's no rust on it.
Outside
I
of
bought
like
it brand new.
the Nevada desert or places in California, you're not going to find a better
It's very
spot for
dry.
rust-free
There's no
cars
humidity
than
here.
around here.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we get very lucky with
Yeah.
the quality of our cars that we have.
I mean, even the
To the
junkyard.
point-
We go to the junkyard. We don't ever see rust on.
Right.
stuff.
To the point of going to buy a used car, rust usually isn't even on our minds when we're going
No,
to look
no.
at a used car, like off of Craigslist or something.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that picks them up.
Like,
it
not
doesn't even
even-
cross your mind
And
here,
like
which
when I
know
did the
is a
brakes on the
luxury
Suburban,
for some.
when I did the rear brakes on the Suburban, it was the first time I'd done them since your dad had done them.
Yeah.
And I started pulling stuff and I was like, wow, there's a lot of rust on this rear hub. After I pulled it off the wheel and I was cleaning it all up and I was checking and I was like, oh, that's right, because he dunked the back end of this in the water when he used to tow his boat.
Yeah.
And that's the most rust. It wasn't bad. It was just some scale surface rust, but I was able to clean it off and paint and primer everything, undercoat everything, and I was fine. So, we don't see it. So very nice. Mohammed, can I use the Premier FTW towel on soft paint? Yes, you can. Ricardo, what towels do you recommend for legend coating? I used a 3-towel method. I recommend Creatures, Ricardo. Creatures. Creatures. Creatures.
So not Pearl, Creatures.
Creatures.
Okay.
I'm going to say it one more time so you hear me.
Nope.
Creatures.
Graham Marshall, 2007. Our XK8 was detailed and it disappeared down.
Yeah, there you go, buddy.
Classy fellas driving an
So
XK.
when
Okay.
XK8 is a Ford,
That was
I
the
think so.
predecessor to my
A
XK.
Ford.
which is what?
What do you have that's an XK? You have a Mustang and a Suburban.
The Jaguar XK8
mean, a big truck.
was a precursor to the Jaguar new XK, which is what mine is,
Well,
which was introduced in
Dane, that's a
2007.
Mustang.
So
It's a
Dane,
Ford Mustang.
The XK8 though was a designation given to the previous generation, so that's actually only
Should
for the
we
cars
get
made
plates that say
through
Ragstang?
the mid '90s to the mid
Euro
2000s.
Mustang. Euro
it's
Stang.
too bad there wasn't an XK8R.
Fun
UK
fact,
Stang. UK
the
Stang.
XK8 shared its architecture actually with the original revival, the Aston Martin DB7. So that is a very fun fact for those of you who care. For the rest of you who couldn't give a rip and are falling asleep as we speak, there was snoring going on. I'm sorry I bored you to death with a fun car fact.
Anyway.
Puerto Rico. Oh, what the heck? Look
Ricky
at this.
says PR is actually one of the tips of the Bermuda Triangle.
Yes.
Dun dun dun. No wonder they got Saharan sand.
Yeah,
There can
man.
only be
Weird.
three.
Probably a portal. A
It is
wormhole
it
between that
is
and
a
Saudi
portal.
Arabia.
It is.
I
probably
guess
what's
that
happening.
answers that.
David Cervantes, since we're admitting it, I didn't use microfiber until 2020. I used to use a chamois at the body shop I previously worked at and a synthetic chamois at my current body shop till I donated a couple big ones. There you
Well,
go.
I'm glad you made that change.
That's
Even
all
if
right,
it was
man.
late, better late than
Yeah,
never.
better. At least you're using it. That's all that matters.
Elicane,
Elicane,
kinda
kind of like a Sharknado. Yes. Ricky, haha. The dust clouds are carried in the dry air, which prevent the storms from actually being able to pick up moisture from the ocean as they make the trek from West Africa to the Caribbean.
Perfect.
Yeah, okay. That sounds
That's
like
a long way.
it's a long way.
To just travel.
Yeah.
Contrary to common beliefs,
Dust.
Beadmaker keeps my truck rather dust-free. I can't get a dust issue even when applying it. It's because that dust issue does not exist.
People
And we always see a
oftentimes-
spike of it right when spring happens because everybody's out washing their cars and they all put on that. And they're like, there's all this dust all over my car.
the
And we're like,
thing
it's
is-
because the pollen count
Levi,
is extremely high in your neighborhood.
Well, so we
Why I
can't
on the
love
news.
internet.
We can't say it doesn't exist though, because apparently PNS has already addressed saying that you can use paint gloss to reduce the dusting. Because they've addressed it, it has already put in people's mind that dusting is the
I
issue,
don't
where
believe
maybe
it.
it's not the issue.
I don't believe
and now there's a problem
see,
with it.
There's these things. They're called echo chambers, and when people throw an idea out there and other people start to mimic that idea, they all start to mirror it to themselves, and they all agree because they're like, well, the guy next to me agrees, so we all must agree. Everybody must agree.
Dane, you
And
love
then-
echo chambers. It's your favorite thing.
Oh,
Yep.
Echo.
it's so loud.
Echo.
Nick. Okay.
Echo.
Ricky, detailing related. Pearl Puck with CSU XO winning combination. Thank you, Ricky, for that. Again, one of my creations. Again, super, not Anthony, me, 100%.
Couldn't forget if I tried. All right, Frank.
Glove box saying, hey guys, and then Frank L, do you think C4 trim coating could be installed safely outside, or do I need indoors so it can cure without getting anything on it?
I think
Yes.
so. Absolutely.
You're totally fine to do that.
I think
Outside
we've
all day
done that
long, man.
before,
Frank, do
actually.
it. Get it. Go.
Friends
Yeah.
over at Glove Box saying, hi, guys. And then along the whole bottom. yes,
Definitely the
fingernail.
windshield along the whole bottom. Definitely the windshield. The blade they use to cut to shape. So they cut it along the cowl on the outside.
Yeah.
I see.
Because basically what they do, Levi, I don't know if you know anything about tinting. So they clean the windshield first, and then they lay the tint on. Sometimes they'll use like a paste, right? What they do, they use like a paste just to make sure everything's super clean, right? And then what they do is they lay the tint on the windshield, and then they cut it, right? And during that cutting process, they could use a blade, or that could do some serious damage, right?
But
then
the tint
after
goes on
they
the
cut
inside
out their
of the
template,
glass,
right?
not the outside.
And that's when they bring it inside and lay it in. And
Well, if you did it at a reputable shop, Frank, they should have some sort of an insurance or something that they can
warranty program
or something they can take care of. So I would talk to them about it.
I would be upset about that.
Yeah,
and
especially if it's a new car and then you got a chunk. It's not going to hurt anything. Like, it's not going to make your glass worse. It's not going to cause a crack or a chip or anything like that to happen. It's just unsightly. So it's up to you.
But you know what's worse than that scratch? When somebody has a windshield wiper scratch.
Yes.
One where, like the wiper comes off and then it's just metal going up. Because you can see it from like a mile away. When you see the
it's very clearly
line.
part of like the pass. You can see the line where the arm goes.
And you go, dang, that sucks.
So did you get your front windshield tinted?
What's funny,
Frank, that's pretty dope.
is I saw a lot of those scratches, right? Those windshield wiper scratches. A lot of the cars during Monterey Car Week had those.
That was interesting.
A lot of them.
And I
Not
saw
all
that.
of
I was
them,
like,
but more than I'd
dang.
expect.
I'm like, that glass is probably like
Probably what happened, driving down the road,
irreplaceable.
windshield wiper came off.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it started going without it. And they're like, and it got 2-3 good licks in.
This is for display only.
Scraped it.
It'll mess it up.
I'm imagining they cut the tint on the window with a razor and gouged it. Yeah.
Yeah.
G. Davis, the Bermuda Triangle is also the name of Hans Klosen's pheromone-based body spray salad topping. Delicious.
What a crossover.
Oh my God. That is.
Sounds delicious.
You've heard of Thousand Island. This is just
So
3
basically, whenever I think of the movie Euro Trip, I imagine that G. Davis would be along.
He's the little green guy.
With
No, he'd be
us
great with us on, your
on that adventure, and just telling us all these weird things and getting ourselves in strange situations.
Glass.
Boy, I
Frank
remember
says the
that
glass,
movie.
100% it won't buff out according to the installer. Yeah, so I'd figure out what they want to do with that, man.
They should offer you something.
Yeah.
Like, they shouldn't be able to just get away scot-free with this, but
If it bothers you that much, I'd talk to them.
yeah. I wouldn't be rude about it, but just very clearly,
yeah.
there's something's got to happen here. We got to fix this.
Josh says some tint shops, because Josh is my partner in our tint game, tint shops will cut the film while on the glass, leaving the cut in the glass surface equals ruined glass.
There's just no bueno.
Alkaline
Don't do
Dan says,
that.
what do you guys think about Toyota's new GR86?
Awesome.
Someday I would love to get that.
Awesome. Like, they really improved on the original in the best
Levi,
way.
what do you say we just go put a deposit down on one?
I don't have any money to do that.
Me either. But what if we just said we just started doing things
We
like
split
that?
it.
No, but we just start putting a deposit down on all these new cars, right?
Yeah, the $20.
So that way we can talk about it.
I got a
And then
deposit
right
down.
when it comes in, we're like, oh, we're out.
Yeah.
Like,
I
we
didn't
don't-
want
we-
it.
We didn't
It
really
wasn't as
want it.
cool.
But it gives us enough content to talk about for like several
I like
months.
that. Just waiting.
Yeah,
Made it, just
waiting
ordered.
on the new.
Just ordered. Make it a video.
Yeah, waiting on my
ordered
Z, waiting on my Bronco now. I'm pretty excited.
They're like,
right?
hey, you have all this money. We're like, it only cost us like $100 to do all
As I
this.
said in The
Deposits
Simpsons,
on
technically
everything.
correct. Or was that Futurama? Technically correct. The best
I
time
like it.
correct.
I would love to have one if I had the money to buy
That
one.
was Futurama.
Curly Wolf, is claying with an iron remover really a thing now? It's always been one. Curly, you could do it. We've been doing it since Ivan was on our channel and back in the
Ferrex.
beginning with Ferrex.
I
You
feel
could
like
do
a
it
lot
with
of
it.
people like find these things after we've done a video
The
about it.
difference
no one
is there
watched it,
weren't
and
that
then they
many
find out
companies
later.
that had an iron remover. Everybody has an
Yeah.
iron remover now. It's a lot easier.
But that's
to
okay.
make.
I'm glad you guys
Yeah.
are finding out at all. So
Yep. Frank says, yeah, Josh, it was an error when fitting on the outside, transferring inside. That's all. And then Hans G. Davis in the Bermuda Triangle. I hate all of my G. Davis posters. People never get out after seeing them. And then David, what would people want to leave after seeing that hunk, Hans? Would people want to
my.
leave? It's true.
Man.
G says, will...
Are we this far behind?
Yep.
Okay, we got to catch up.
Will
We have 3
Dane and
minutes.
Dan be doing a meet and greets in the OnlyFans BMW booth at
Oh.
SEMA? I saw it promoted on the History Channel.
Not since the recent
sorry,
changes.
it's
to
not
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. It's only Frankfurters. The OF didn't mean what you thought it did.
Oh,
Yeah.
Frankfurter.
Frankfurt.
They're German.
Glove box. Look forward to hanging out, you guys, at SEMA. Any special cars on display at your booth yet this year? Should we say or no?
No, we can't yet.
We can't say yet.
David
Cervantes.
There might be something.
says, I will post a picture of my truck's undercarriage. Keep in mind, 3.5 years old, barely driven by previous owners. Meticulous careful.
Ooh,
Interesting
like
to see.
that. Yeah.
Curly Wolf says, loved all the stories from Monterey. I was there in the mid 80s, and I don't remember a car event at that time. When did that start?
About 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dane, since you are a Ford Super Duty owner, would you go back to a Ford, or would you go for a GM, Ram, or GM or Ram truck next?
I have some ideas. I don't know if it's quite time to disclose what those ideas
But okay,
are.
if you're to have
I will
another
say,
truck-
if I were to go for another truck after the Ford, as much as I grew up with GMs and liked GMs, I found the interiors on the Rams to actually be the nicest by far on the new ones.
Interesting.
Like the
Plus, it's
interiors.
got the shifter knob that Dane likes in his Jag. So
I know. I'm kind of.
Well,
I
keep
kind
it
of
together.
thing is,
like
is
that.
just
A lot of
the
people
Ram
don't,
is a
but I like
superior
it.
vehicle.
okay.
I will put it this way: the Ram interiors are some of the few trucks I would actually choose because Mopars in general, while I think they're cool, the build quality always kind of left me wondering.
Oh.
So
That's not
a
good.
little here and there.
Graham says, Dane, keep the Jag facts coming. And then Rag Company says, not and then beats a good old sock for waxing.
Thanks,
okay,
Gabe.
And then Rag Company sock for wax and t-shirts for sealants. Yeah, that's exactly right, Hansi. Where are we at? Beadmaker 2 happens to be a thing, which I doubt. I do want to see more solids in it, like Kosh Chemi's SO02. Well, a good idea. So our highly recommended undercoating is a grease-type substance called Wanna Keep It. It's applied every 18 months, but the installers overspray the crap out of the vehicles. What can I use to cut this? Gosh, I don't know, man. I've never. What kind of undercoat is it? You know, I don't know.
Applied every 18 months. Oh my! You know how much stress that would bring me?
That's a
knowing
lot.
that I have to take a car in to go get undercoated
18
every 18 months. That'd be like you saying, "Hey, Anthony, you got to go drop that off." I'm like, "But what if they do a horrible job? What if they get oversprayed?"
Yeah, it'd be all right.
Yeah, it's just
Dirty
undercoating.
Dave's there with his cigarette in his mouth, spraying,
I'm
You
like,
can count
right
on
next
it.
to-
breathing
Oh,
it
boy.
in.
And on that note, we have many more comments to get to.
G. Dave depends on whether my hack BMW mechanic application is approved in time.
Excellent point.
And David, we would use Dawn at the body shop, but I hate using dish soap. Yeah, you can. G. Davis Alkaline, I saw what you did with the vacuum leak you're in. Ridiculous.
Diagnostic board.
G. Davis is the biggest troll that I don't personally know. Ridiculous. Alkaline poking around to find holes is a valid diagnostic test.
Yeah.
And then G. Davis says, I'm honored. Ridiculous. And then Frank says, $20.
Whoa.
You guys rock. Thanks for answering the
Thank
questions
you,
and
Frank.
putting out all that good info for over the years. Respect. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
Hopefully you get your stuff figured out. Graham, lads, have a great weekend. I'll catch you next week. Thank you,
Thank you,
Graham.
Graham.
Appreciate it. Alkaline says only Frankfurter is the original sausage fest.
Oh,
Damn straight.
G. Davis says only Frankfurter is the #1 sponsors of Dane's shower campsite.
oh my God!
Then G also says congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Gabe. And then David, thanks for keeping us entertained. See you guys Monday. Thank you, man. Have a good weekend. And it's like grease or animal fat, very oily. Dawn dishwashing soap cuts it very well, but I hate it.
What a way to end the
right.
show.
Gross.
Wow. Thank you so much to everybody who listened and watched today. We really love hanging out with you guys and vice versa. Hope you enjoy hanging out with us. In the meantime, guys,
Thanks to
if you
Sid for
haven't-
coming and hanging out with us,
Yes,
too.
big thanks to Sydney for coming in, not Cindy, Sydney, for coming in and helping answer questions as well. Now, of course, I gotta say it because I always gotta say it. Guys, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Rag Company YouTube channel, as well as our 2 other channels, the FAQ channel, the Rag Company FAQ, and the Rag Company Podcast YouTube channel. In addition, just know we are working to bring you yet another Heap Car Challenge episode this weekend. So be on the lookout for that. And that's Sunday. On Saturday, we just might have another garage tour coming for you. So stay on the lookout for that. It should be fun. Guys,
Very nice.
take care. Gals, have a good one. Everybody, see you later.
See ya.